what's going on? I hope you guys are feeling well on this Saturday. If you guys can hear me, make some noise. All right. Since I cannot hear you unless you call up and hit that chat link, I need you guys to put a 1 in the comment section. Just let me know that you guys can hear me clearly and everything is working well. So today we got a few things to discuss, and I want to talk to you guys about them all. Diddy, you know he's on the top of the list. And Ice Cube just came out and he said that Jay-Z and Beyonce has been covering for Diddy for a long time now. So that means that Jay-Z and Beyonce, they're in cahoots with Diddy. So we got to talk about that. And let's not forget about Al B. Sure. Al B. Sure, he's still coming out with his documentary. He's still coming out to get his justice and to tell his truth how Diddy was trying to take him out of here. And we cannot forget about Diddy's sons. Both of his sons are in lawsuits. And this is all because Diddy. And Diddy, he has just failed everybody around him, everybody, from his selfishness. And then we got to talk about Miss Simmons, Russel Simmons' daughter. I don't know if you guys heard, but honey, she's outside with a 65-year-old. And I'm not here for it. Now, some of y'all, because y'all projecting, y'all wish y'all had a man. Y'all wish y'all had a sugar daddy to take care of you. Honey, a lot of people are saying daddy issues. She don't have a good relationship with her daddy. How could she? Her daddy is a criminal. Her daddy, Russel Simmons, is a corrupt, and he does horrible things. And they are saying that Russel Simmons, her father, is a pedo too, because her mom was a victim of a pedo situation. Her mom was only 16, 17, a child, when she met her father, which is Russell Wilson. And he don't, Russell Simmons, shit. And he don't got no problem with it. And they are coming up with this video of Russell's daughter, speaking of Russell, and she says in that video, she says, if you don't up my allowance, I'm going to get me a sugar daddy. And that exactly what she got. She got her a damn sugar daddy. And you know it's not going to last long. He's 65 years old and she 21. Are they going to have kids? Huh? Are they planning to get married? What are we doing? He got kids probably older than her. Okay? How his kids feeling about this? Now, girl, I tell you, I don't know what she doing. And she ain't shame about it at all. She is out here on the internet kissing, got videos of him and her talking and shit. Now, on the videos, it does seem like she running, but she don't run shit. If you dealing with a 65-year-old entrepreneur, got that money, let's all believe he controlling everything. And honey, if he like you because you 21, I hope you don't think you're the only 21 he liking. He probably liking a 16 or 15. Okay, he probably using you, okay, to get more women, young girls to come his way. Because you already know, once that video then circulate, you got these little fast girls with daddy issues at 16, 15, 14 that's going to be hitting that man up. Hell yeah, I want a chance too. And she don't even realize, honey, you just been used as a gimmick. Just like how Diddy used Cassie. But honey, I know some of y'all are for it. Y'all like this crap. But I'm going to give y'all a chance to speak out about it. Call that number and hit that link. And another thing about calling a number and hitting a damn link, I get so sick and tired of this shit. Now, I give you opportunities to talk. Now, when people come up here and they talk, okay, y'all in the comment section, y'all mad. Well, why you ain't call in with some common sense and give some good commentary? And for everybody that has been calling in and giving great commentary, I appreciate you. And please don't get distressed or don't feel any type of way from the people in the comment section always talking crap about people up here. As long as they have a voice and they speaking with common sense, God damn it, ain't no problem with it. Okay, I don't care what race, what color, whatever. Okay, I don't get it. Last night we had a panel and it was a good panel. I enjoyed it. They came up here with common sense and they had something to say and they made sense with their talking points. And you have people in the comment section. Oh my God, why, bitch, why you ain't call up? Okay, stop all that shit. You gonna make other people not want to call up shit. And you know I'm struggling for people to call up, goddamn it. This whole live stream is really about y'all. It's really about the people's voice. That's all. Okay. That is all it's really about. And another thing, I'm getting comments. I don't know where y'all getting bull crap from. Y'all love going to my ops or whoever talking crap about me and bringing it up here. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't need to hear that shit. Listen, I'm always changing and growing, okay? And you kill me. Y'all have not been on my channel for I don't know how long, and then you want to get over here upset because it changes. Well, what you expect? Just like a goddamn iPhone, we gonna keep upgrading and changing and everything else. I'm mad at you because you didn't stick with the program. And if you would have stick with the program, you would have known the changes before they come, because I'll always let your ass know. Okay. Now, sorry about that, y'all. Sorry about that. Now, Carla Page, I was going to click on you, but it says device is not connected. So I cannot click on you, okay? So anything else I need to address, okay? Because I'm getting sick and tired. And stop trolling me, okay? I don't understand. Some of you guys are obsessed with me. In a bad way. Y'all want to call my phone lines and I don't understand. I guess you get off on it. Can you please stop calling me? Can you please leave me alone? Okay. It does nothing for me. If you care about me, respect me enough to not to call and troll me. Go troll some other people. It's a lot of people that would love that type of attention. I just don't want it. Okay. I don't need it and I don't want it. All attention ain't good attention. Oh God. So let me look in the chat. So I did a vote because I guess some people felt like I was in an open panel. So open panel really means that any topic that you guys want to bring up, even if it's not in the title, you guys can call in and speak about it. Okay. All right. Like I said, this live stream, I really would like it to go for the people. Okay. Okay. Kia, you better let them know. Kia, let they butt know. Leave me alone. I don't know why they so obsessed with me. Okay, shit. Okay. Oh, well, thank you, It's Toby. I appreciate you. I hope you stick along for the ride. Okay, on a ride, fantastic. Yeah, mission. Ride, slip and slide. Rest in peace, Coolio. You know he died. So talking about Diddy, Jay-Z, did you guys hear that? Did you know that Jay-Z and Beyonce has been covering for Diddy for a very long time? Even Baby, the rapper Baby, he was on Club Shay Shay and he tells a story how he was at Diddy's party and Diddy wanted to do some strange things in his back door. And he said that Beyonce and Jay-Z, they were at the party. Now, people felt it was strange because Beyonce and Jay-Z a while ago, they made it clear that they do not attend Diddy's parties. But come to find out, that was a lie as well. So we have to talk about it all. And yesterday, it was some shocking news about Diddy's son being in trouble. And I just feel like Diddy has failed his sons. And when he got all this money, he has access to resources. He did not have to go this route. He did not have to be so diabolical. He did not have to be on the devil's agenda and the devil's assignment to do all these horrible things to so many people. So many people are victims of Diddy. And then you know what, Jay-Z and Beyonce, y'all knew the type of low down dirty shit that, and I'm sorry, I'm the only one that can cuss on my platform. When y'all call in, don't cuss, but I can cuss, okay? But Beyonce and Jay-Z, you knew Diddy was doing his artist wrong. You knew that Diddy was in some horrible stuff. You knew that Diddy had victims. How could you not, Jay-Z? You're so resourceful. everybody come and tell you stuff because you the king of the hip hop. But you didn't care because Diddy had access to power, and you saw Diddy as a way to helping you somehow to continue to do what you want to do. All of y'all are criminals, and all of y'all love some underage boys and girls. Now we do got some phone calls, and like I said, this when I do live streams, it's really for the people. So I'm gonna hit up callers because I love when y'all call. Like I said, y'all can call in or y'all can hit that chat on live stream. Hopefully it works. Calling from 301. Can you hear me well? 301.
I hear you very clear.
Okay, good. Amen.
I hear you.
For that. Talk to me.
Okay. Now, this is the thing I want to talk about first.
Is this KFC?
You know it is.
Hey, girl.
You know it is.
Hey, girl. How you doing, baby?
Now, what's going on?
Girl,
okay.
It's a
now,
lot
this is the
going
thing.
On. It is a lot.
I want to go back to what you.
Know,
I didn't get a chance to speak up.
You know, I had trolls trying to get you off of here, talking about you should go to. You know, bitches just come over here to.
Why are they doing that to me though?
I don't know.
I'm not a troll. I'm a loyal fan.
Thank you. It's really crazy. They want me to get out of character so bad. They want me to come through this damn screen so bad. But go ahead.
No, because when I show off, you check me, so it's not me. I'm not a troll.
I know you're not. Go ahead.
Okay. Now, yesterday you were talking very good about Diddy's son with the lady that came forward. Remember that was saying she was SA'd by Diddy's son on the yacht?
Yeah.
Let's talk about that story real quick. Now, does that story make sense to you? Does that story make sense to you that lady stated that she was drugged, all right, then SA'd? Let me ask you this. If you were on the yacht, when did you find time after they drugged you to hit record on your phone?
Okay, well,
she doesn't have a video. She has a cell phone recording.
Let me break it down, Staff.
Okay, hold on. And then she said she was showing the bruises and all that stuff, but you can't prove that those bruises were put on by Diddy's son. Then she allegedly went to the captain of the ship, and he said he didn't want to get involved because allegedly Diddy gave him a tip. So my thing is, once that boat docked, why come she didn't go to the authorities? Because she could have sued her employer, which is the person who was the yacht company, and Diddy. Plus, why are you sitting on all of this since 2022? Like, that makes no sense. This is the problem I have with this. And I'm going to say this before I get off. The way people do things is sloppy. Like, every 8 minutes in this country, a woman is SA'd. And when women carry these situations the way they do, where they're waiting 3, 4, 5 years, it's not fair to women, honestly, that get attacked every day who pick the phone up and call 911 immediately. Like, because Diddy's a celebrity, that's no excuse for you not wanting to call the authorities if he allegedly SA'd you.
You wrong. You wrong, KFC. KFC.
How am I wrong?
Well, let me tell you why you wrong, girl. It's a lot of people that have been SA'd. Press 2 in the comments if you ever been SA'd or something horrible happened to you, okay? Now, we got that out the way. Now, a lot of you guys did not come forward with your stories. Some of y'all are going to die with your stories. And some of y'all have not even came out, or it took you a long time. Sometimes it take them 10 years. Sometimes it take them 15 years. Who are we to judge victims and to say, well, you have a time frame to get your stuff together to come forward? It takes time. When that happens to you, it's traumatizing. Sometimes you want to forget about it. Sometimes you grow and you realize, oh, no, I need to speak out because I'm allowing him to get away with it. You don't know how this staffer lady had to process that. And she was a worker. She was a staffer on the yacht, and Diddy's son, Christian Combs, he was fixated on her. And when I tell you, these guys are like lions, they are predators. Why couldn't they just be with people that it's a list of girls and boys that want to be with them, but no, they don't want them. They want what they want. And yes,
but how do you know she's telling the truth, though?
How do you know she's not telling the truth? Why would you question that?
But that's what I'm saying. So I can't pass judgment on Diddy's son.
And Little Rod was the recording it. Staffer lady, she didn't record it. Little Rod did.
So why did Little Rod sit on it for so long then?
You know what? Because
he want to pay
process it. They have to process it. They have to get their everything together.
Nah, I don't believe. Let me tell you about that.
KFC, if they would have
I don't believe
KFC,
nothing that they're saying
KFC,
about Diddy. I don't believe nothing that nobody's saying.
Yeah, KFC.
I believe it's all a money scheme. And like I said, if Diddy's worth $900 million, so if you could find a way to get some money out of him, that's what everybody's doing. Because I mean, the man has been out since 1990. If the people in the beginning would have spoke up, allegedly, if he was doing all of this, maybe it wouldn't have gone on for so long. Because even if a serial rapist out here on the street, the police are going to try to find them. I mean, I'm just not believing the way they're doing. They wait for one to come forward, not everybody else want to come forward. I'm not believing that. And as far as Cassie is concerned,
KFC, when one person speaks up and give a testimony, like you in church, other people want to speak up and give their testimony. All it takes is one person to give the guts to say, hey, I was down in the bottom and this was going on, and that would inspire multiple people to come forward. It's humans' nature to do that.
Okay, well, let me just say that if they have the video, why come he hasn't been indicted? If you have tape, you can prove it.
Honey,
what are they waiting on?
They got the recordings. They got to stack everything together. They got
That's not how the law
devices.
Works.
They got computer devices.
Okay, let me ask you this.
And they
let me ask you this real quick. And I'm not trying to cut you off.
Wiggle his way out of it. Okay, they were.
Okay, but let me ask you this though. Let me ask you this.
Locked up.
If a person shoplifts in Walmart, all it takes is that one recording for a cop to come back and see that camera to arrest you. They don't say, let me see if this shopper going to shoplift multiple times and then I'm going to come back and arrest them. Like, that does not make sense to me.
Diddy is a big fish with a lot of money and a lot of access, and money talks. He can pay the best.
Now, when you're black in America, you always have a target on your back.
Nah, Diddy ain't black. He more than that. He's a billionaire, baby. He be paying the judges off. He be playing FBI off. Money talks. It changes you. And Diddy has changed.
But there's always snitches, though.
I don't know what you mean by snitches.
And let me jump on this too, before I get off. What you was mentioning about Harvey Weinstein yesterday, right? The movie producer. Let me just say this. In Hollywood, the Me Too movement was bigger than just SA. Like, a lot of women got on board with that Me Too movement because they felt it was discriminatory the way women have to be nude all the time, showing the front, the back, and the men don't have to do it in these acting roles. But you know, when you get a certain age in Hollywood, they don't want you anymore. That's why when you get like over the age of 45, you don't get roles coming in. When's the last time Halle Berry's been in a movie? When's the last time a lot of those women that tried to sue Harvey Weinstein was in the movie?
Tyler Perry be hiring 40 and up all the time. Tyler Perry, he hires.
Yeah, but look, all the time, right? But they don't get roles coming. Like, Halle Berry don't get the same amount of roles she was getting when she first came out. Okay. Neither does Julia Roberts, neither Jennifer Aniston. None of them do that. So what I'm saying is, if you're in a position to speak up, and you're in a better position than the average person on the street, why come you're not speaking up? Because think about the women in prison that are essayed every day by correctional guards and police officers who have no voice.
Why didn't Halle Berry speak up when she was younger? The world has changed, KFC. Back in those days, though, they wouldn't even allow women to speak, to give them a voice. Now they have a pathway where they can speak out. They feel more safe. In order to get victims and people to speak out, to tell their truth, they have to feel safe, KFC. Back in the 90s, they were not safe. They were targeted if they were to speak out. They were blackmailed if they were to speak out. Some of them was taken out of here if they were to speak out, and nobody would look twice. Nobody cared about those girls because they see women as, hey, you're replaceable, you're a slut, you don't want much anyway, well, you shouldn't have did it. And they don't look at the whole thing where these men, they have so much power and influence, and they manipulate and they intimidate, and it's a lot. But now things are changing and women are feeling more safe to tell their truth. And they should, even if they're in their 50s and 70s, because when they was in their 19, 18, it was not safe for them to speak out. It was not safe.
I'm on board with you and I respect that. But how do you know that they're telling the truth? That's all I'm saying.
Like O.J. Simpson, right? Everybody is telling the truth.
Exactly. But with O.J. Simpson, how did they find him not guilty for those two people losing their life, but they hold them responsible for it. Come on, it don't work like that.
You're moving the goalposts and you're deflecting. What does
I'm not deflecting. I'm on the side of justice. But people make the laws work for themselves as well. Victim and the person that's responsible. That's all I'm saying.
You know, Diddy got a lot of victims.
Like, you keep talking about Kimora Lee Simmons, right? But do you know Kimora Lee Simmons sold $800 million from Russel? That's why he has no more money.
What?
Like, man, people have, you know.
Now, what do you mean?
Google it in.
What do you mean?
So you got to do your research. Like, okay. But before I get off the line, you keep talking about Albie Shore. Do you know how fat Albie Shore was at one time? He was sick for a while. He was almost 400 pounds. That had a lot to do with his health issues. That may not have anything to do with Diddy. Go back and look at the letter his son wrote to him. You can Google it right now. It says, "Dear Albie Shore." His son is writing in the letter explaining how his father never wanted to be there for him. What does that have to do with Puffy? Like, why is this man getting blamed for everything all of a sudden? I mean, I don't. For me, I don't get that. I don't get why all of a sudden he's blamed for everything.
KFC. Y'all hear, this is my girl. You know, I love her. Even though we agree to disagree, I still love her. But you know what? She is the only one that's brave enough to use her voice to express how she feels. And I appreciate that from you. And I congratulate you, because we got a lot of people in this comment section. Y'all talking, but y'all not calling up here. Y'all not calling. Y'all disagreeing with her.
I'm not scared.
Y'all disagreeing with her, but y'all not calling up here to weigh in. Lady A, I see you, and I missed you yesterday. Where were you at? But I'm glad you're here today. But
let me just say before I get off, I respect everything you're saying, because, like, in the military, when you Google in that SANA, those women are truly scared when in the military, and it's hard for them to prove when they've been attacked, right? But what I'm saying is, with Puffy, I just find it odd that one person come forward, not everybody want to come forward. I just think that's really, really odd, man.
Inspiration, just like a pastor. A lot of people are afraid to speak up against a pastor because he's praised. He has so much influence. You don't understand. Powerful people are very intimidating.
So why are you speaking up now? Shouldn't you still be scared?
Well, sometimes we grow, KFC, and we start to build courage over the years. Sometimes it takes some of us longer than others. And the world is changing, KFC. The world is allowing more victims space and time to really speak out. You understand? So with the world changing and with people growing to get more comfortable and more in control of who they are, and learning that in the past it was wrong. Because you know how many victims blame themselves for that shit? Do you know how many victims? Because that's
why I want those victims, right? I want those victims to be recognized, and not the women that are trying to use.
Back in those times,
those are the victims that I support.
Made victims to feel like it's their fault. And they lied. Society has lied to so many people in the past, especially the victims. And it's not your fault. It is not. And people are realizing that, and they are coming to their senses, and they said, listen, you know what? We ain't had the time to speak out before, but we're going to speak out now. And we're going to let our voices be heard. And we want a change for our daughters. Because you don't want your daughters to go through the same shit you went through.
Men go through this too.
Okay, boys
go through this too.
Sorry, God damn it. I'm sorry. Boys too. Boys,
let me just say before I get off the phone. It's just like people who get public assistance. You have some that really need it, they're down and out, and then you have others that abuse the system. And that's the problem with the criminal justice system. Is it an unjust system? That's all I'm simply saying. It's an unjust system. And when you're Black in America, just like the Declaration of Independence was written, that was not written with Black people in mind. Remember, you were a slave when they talked about equal rights. So that's the foundation of this country.
We're moving the goalposts, KFC.
No, I'm just saying, when has the law ever been right for people who have color in their skin? It never has been. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Like, this has been going on for a while. Just think about when Robin Givens married Mike Tyson. She didn't marry Mike Tyson because she loved him. She married Mike Tyson because she wanted his money. A blueprint is still there, whether you want to agree with me or not. there's still a opening for some women to lie to get over, especially if the man has money. It's an easy payday. You know, they say at the NBA games, women be waiting on these men. They want to get pregnant by them for a check.
If you think what Cassie has to do is easy to come forward, to be talked about, and to be scrutinized, this is not easy.
If you're getting a $30 million payday, would you care?
Yes, because you got to relive that trauma. You got to relive that. Nobody wants to go back there.
But how do you know what she's saying is authenticated? It hasn't been proven yet.
Why shouldn't you have to fight? It was wrong what he did, and that should be it. But you have to fight. You got to prove yourself.
Okay, I don't want to hold up for another caller. But how do you know Cassie knows what she's talking about? There's no 911 calls. There's no hospital, emergency room visits. There's nothing. Who told her she had to stay? And if that's the case, why did she decide to leave anyway? See, that's it. Why did she want Diddy to marry her? All right? Why did she stay with him for so long? Money. She liked the lifestyle. She came for nothing. All right? Would you want to give up being with somebody worth $900 million to go back to work in a 9 to 5? And you best believe if you want to leave him, you're going to leave with something.
Pow in my mouth. KFC. He constantly me. KFC. He makes me do stuff with strange men that
that's what she's telling us. Prove it. Then I will support her. Prove it. But he's innocent till proven guilty.
But KFC,
whether you like him or not,
you have men that worked in that prostitution area that came out and said it was true before Cassie even came out. They said that Diddy would hire them to do strange things to her and other people. And it's been multiple.
But can I ask you this? And I'm gonna get off the air. Why is everybody speaking up now? Because Cassidy came forward.
Because that's the leader.
It's enough. They want another payday. Let's keep it real. Because with all these people making these allegations, they should be able to prove beyond a reasonable doubt by now. His passport hasn't been revoked. He's not on house arrest or nothing. If you have all these tapes, all this video, all these audio, all these victims, something by now should have happened. There's no such thing as building a case.
Can we give it? Can we give it time? Can we give it time?
Why do we have to give it time though? If he has all these victims,
can we give it some time, babe?
You have your opinion. I have mine. I just think that it's fabricated. A lot of it is fake. A lot of it is fake. It really, truly. Think about it. Think about you got guys come. Like you can't record somebody. Even if Diddy was at a party and he wasn't engaging in it, he's not responsible for what other people do. If somebody wanted to do that, I mean, I'm just trying to understand. Like you can't record people without their permission.
KFC. If I have a house party and stuff illegally is going on my property, it is my responsibility. What do you mean?
But can I say this? We're forgetting one thing. We don't know that. You just agree with me to that it's proven. Can we give it time? Then once it's proven, I would say, you know what? You were right. But right now it's up in the air. He's still innocent to proven guilty. All right? Like that's the truth. That's no different than police officers pulling black people over because they're driving while black. Because you late at night driving, you're black. You have to be up to something. We have to give him the benefit of the doubt till it's proven beyond a reasonable doubt. That's all I'm saying. That's how the system is supposed to work. Because what we're doing to Puffy now is like some people who say, like white people who don't want black people living in the same neighborhood with them or their children going to the same school. Why? What gives you the right to do that? So why are we incriminating Puffy before we're allowing the evidence to come forward that can prove beyond a reasonable doubt that he actually did these things? Because we don't know, do we? It's just mere hearsay right now. That's all I'm saying. We know about R. Kelly because I've seen the R. Kelly video. When that first came out, I saw that video where he was going through them girls. But what did it? We have seen nothing on tape.
You haven't heard the audio of him and Meek Mills?
I don't believe Meek Mills get down like that.
But we heard Meek Mills.
I don't believe none of that.
We heard him.
I don't believe none of that. What they're saying about him. I really truly don't. I don't. Okay. I think you know what? Look, let me just say this before I let you go.
You didn't see Meek Mills.
Remember, like Bill Cosby was trying to buy NBC, and all this came out about him.
Meek Mills jumping up and down like a bunny. Did you see that?
Okay, well, can you do this when I get offline?
Did you see the
Google
French fries between his legs and Diddy was eating it?
Wait, what video was that?
Girl, French fries between his legs at the pool, and it was wet. And did you see the picture of Diddy and Meek Mills wearing the same outfit? Did you
that
see
doesn't
that?
mean you're gay because you do that. That's just my opinion.
Well, I'm not saying he gay. I can't put no identity on nobody. I'm just saying that I feel that Meek Mills was a victim too. I think Diddy made
I just think it's wrong because like when you, let me just say this, and I promise I'm gonna get off. Remember you mentioned about Bill Cosby, how he was trying to buy NBC, how all that stuff came down.
Right.
But do you know Puffy had just bought the largest cannabis dispensary that he was getting ready to open up that was going to take him beyond a billionaire. Now Google that one in. Then as soon as he was getting ready to make that move, all this came out about him. So that's the thing, man. You got to do. I just feel like people are innocent till proven guilty. You know, you just got to get people that, because look at OJ. Supposedly they found the glove and they found the socks in the bedroom and all that. He was still found not guilty. I'm just saying, why can't the evidence play out that can prove and show that Diddy is guilty of all the things that's being alleged? Because I know for a fact with his son was messing with some beautiful girls on Instagram. I don't see why he would want to get on the yacht and have to do all. I mean, to me, it just does not make sense.
KFC, the reason why he has to do it because he's a predator. He learned his predator ways by his father. It's in his nature. It might be in his DNA. I don't know. And he need to suppress it. He need to go to a 12-step program to get some help. Because he's doing this and he's picking up these behaviors from his daddy.
But why is only one girl coming forward then? Wouldn't it be multiple girls?
Give it time. It might be.
Oh, okay.
They might be scared.
You keep going on Nancy Grace. Nancy Grace has been sued a lot of times for the things she didn't say about people that she was wrong about. She's been sued a lot of times just because she's talking about it. What about other women that have gone missing and she won't even open her mouth up about? She didn't say nothing about Mahogany Jackson, but she's sitting up here worried about Puff Daddy. Like, you got to pay attention to the pattern that they have. I mean, of course, America will be mad at this. This black man is self-made, didn't graduate from college, is sitting on $900 million. If you think people like you and want to see you coming when you have all of that, man, whatever. They talk about Oprah, how she want Mary Stedman.
Why Jay-Z and Beyonce not speaking up for him, huh? Where his friends
Okay,
at?
but look, because this is the thing. Why do they have to speak up for him?
Because that's their friend. You speaking up, you doing way more than Jay-Z doing. And Jay-Z's supposed to be his friend. You don't even know Diddy.
Okay, but look, when Kanye West got in all that trouble, all them songs he made for people, all them artists he produced, nobody spoke up for him either. When he came after the Jews. So what is people saying? What does that have to do with, of course, Jay-Z and Beyonce want to protect their own image, but when Beyonce's sister came after Jay-Z in the elevator, they never specified the reason why that happened, did they? Did they ever tell you why she jumped on Jay?
Jay-Z
or did people just assume what happened?
No, he's been cheating on her. Jay-Z
How do we know that?
He's a cheater.
How do we know that?
Because, well, one, you didn't see Jay-Z other kids speaking out? He got other kids.
So because he had kids before Beyonce, that makes him a cheater?
Nah, he was cheating on Beyonce during the time. And it was a girl that was pregnant during the same time Beyonce was about to announce she pregnant. And all of a sudden, she was about to expose Jay-Z girl. She was going to tell the world that she was pregnant too. But he got her taken out of here.
You talking about White? I know. Hold on, you talking about that last lady named
Jay-Z
White?
Got bodies.
I don't believe none of that.
Too.
Let me tell you something. As much as they hate black people in this country, don't you think that would have been exposed by now? See, OJ thought they loved him so much too, right?
Hate black people, KFC.
But don't you think somebody white would have put that on blast?
Huh?
Don't you think the people who raided Puffy's house? Don't you think they would have found something? All them people, all them feds.
Stuff. They got cell phones. They got computers. They got a whole bunch of stuff. They going through it now. You got to give them time. It's a lot of stuff. They got to get all the stuff that's not got deleted. They got to tie it in. They want to make sure everything is right.
Okay, so in the meantime, why come they haven't told Puffy he can't leave the country? They haven't revoked his passport. Why is he still free to go anywhere he want to go if he's under investigation? See, that's what I'm saying. With me, and I don't care what people say about me in the chat, I let the evidence have the final say so. I'm not going to take my own opinion. I'm going to put everything on the table, and then I'm going to start wiping off the table. Does this make sense? Does this make sense? Why didn't this? I mean, it just does not make sense. This man been out since 1990. Surely somebody would have had something by now where he would be in jail if it was substantial. That's all I'm going to say. And with Cassidy, I applaud Cassidy, because if Cassidy was going to leave Puffy with no career, which she was signed to his label, which was probably part of her contract, more than likely her settlement was she sued him because by him pursuing her and dating her, she wasn't able to have a career. So more than likely 10 years, that's probably why. But people are associating with SAN and all that stuff. I don't believe none of that stuff. I'm telling you, I just don't. Cassidy married a trainer. He was not going to be able to give her a good lifestyle. She had not one but two. He was a horse trainer. How much money you think he got coming in every year? And you used to getting on yachts and all that stuff. I don't believe none of this. And people can hate me all they want to, but I'm just saying, I just don't believe it. I just really think it's a lie. That's it. And you know you're my girl. I know you want to talk about me, but I mean, that's just the way I'm rolling.
I appreciate you. Just don't care on what people say in the comments, because oftentimes we have people come up here and they care about what people say in the comments, and they lose.
I'm in the comments as well. But what I'm saying is that's just my opinion.
Wait. And I don't want nobody to get like a lot of y'all want to call in, but y'all care about what people say about y'all in the comments. And I like that about KMC. I don't have to agree with her, but I like that she don't give a F about what y'all said in the comments. I can appreciate a person that's so headstrong that is going to speak their mind and not care. Just like Cassie, she gonna speak her mind. Just like Lil Rod, he gonna speak his truth, and he don't care what y'all say. Just like the staffer, now she got more protection. She gonna speak her truth, and she don't care what KLC say. And that's how it should be. Speak your mind.
No, this is it. I mean, I'm saying everybody has their own opinion, but I want the evidence to be the deciding factor, not mere hearsay. Because like I said, if you Google him, Puffy was getting ready to open up a huge cannabis dispensary. I mean, huge. They say it was going to probably take him to about his net worth, probably about $2 billion. And it's the same thing with Jay-Z. You know, Jay-Z, with his liquor brand, he sued Seagram and got a $750 million payday last year. So of course people are going to be searching and looking for stuff. I mean, it's just the way it goes. I mean, you know, so that's all I have to say. Because once these people fall off, why come nobody ain't talking about them? Why come people ain't looking for dirt then? Why do they wait till you fall off and then they leave you alone? I don't know. But all I'm saying with Cassidy, if it did happen to her, I'm sorry. It is a shame. We know about femicide, not just in this country, worldwide, where women get killed just because they're a woman. I'm sorry, deleted just because they're a woman. And I'm sorry that she had to go through that. But what I'm trying to say is that to put yourself in that position, and you have friends outside the industry. I forgot who one of her good friends were. For you to feel like you had to stay there for all this time, why? When you didn't have to be there.
Well,
because if you're scared, then you should be scared even more now because he had to pay you $30 million. Why are you okay now?
She's not okay now. She's working with
I'm talking about Cassidy.
Cassie is not okay. She is still working with the feds to get him down. That's the reason why they raided his house, because of Cassie. They would have raided the house before she got the $30 million. But so why didn't she go to the authorities before the $30 million though? Why did she get the money first and then go to the authorities? Because she's playing it smart. She want to get it all.
But if she would have waited, she probably would have got more money if what she was saying was true.
Well, maybe she's not hungry for money. Maybe she just wants justice now.
Okay, so she only had 2 songs. So how's she eating?
She has a husband.
That train horses?
Okay, but now we're moving to go. Why do we care about what she got in her bank account?
No, because I remember you said, Puffy said one time, go back and Google the interview, he's never going to be with one woman. He never wants to be married. He said one woman for him is not good enough for him. He's a playboy. That's what he said out of his own mouth. And if that's how he wants to live his life, that's his prerogative. But every woman Puffy's been with, he's had a baby behind their back on.
Well,
they said Cassie was devastated when Puffy was cheating on her.
He has SA'd her. He has kidnapped her. He has done horrible things to this lady. She don't even own her whole name, Cassie. She don't even, what about the music? She don't have nothing. He took so much. He took her younger years.
Are you serious right now?
He stayed lying to her, deceiving her, manipulating her. She was a child when she met Diddy. But I'm gonna put you.
I don't believe. Because didn't Steve Harvey's daughter was dating Puffy for a minute too. She didn't say nothing about him. Now Google that in. Steve Harvey's daughter was messing with him too.
Well, just because it didn't
she didn't say nothing about him.
Just because it didn't happen to Lori don't mean anything. People pick and choose who they want to be and what they're going to do to people. You can have a pastor and he can have a relationship with 5 girls, but just because he didn't touch Karen or Melissa, just like that Nickelodeon, that big black dude, he said, well, that's not his experience. Just because it's not his experience, it does not take away from victims that have had that happen to them on the set of Nickelodeon with Dan. But I'm going to put you on hold.
Let me just say this too.
I'm gonna put you.
You talked about Usher and Justin Bieber, right? And how Justin Bieber was like the only artist signed to his record label. He made so much money off of Justin, though. Why would you want another artist signed? like Usher made over $100 million of just being a producer of Justin Bieber. Plus, Justin Bieber's father was addicted to drugs. Justin Bieber's mother and father went through a bad divorce. Just because this man is breaking down crying might not have nothing to do with people thinking he went to a Diddy party. Plus, he suffers from that stiff man syndrome. So he's been sick for a while. That's why he's not making any music. I guess Britney Spears went to one of his parties too, and Madonna and Elton John and everybody else, Lady Gaga and everybody else that act crazy. I mean, damn, this man getting, maybe Ronald McDonald went. That's why the McDonald's has a dollar menu now. I mean, he's just getting blamed for every freaking thing. Well, and I don't think that's right.
Gene Dean even came out, said he had to rush Usher to the hospital after Diddy got finished essaying him.
I don't believe that.
Only 14. Why would that black man lie about him? And you can't use the race card no more because that's a black man that said that.
Because that black man want to get paid because he probably don't even work for Usher no more.
Well, don't work for Diddy. I think he used to work for Diddy. He probably don't.
Okay, so when people used to work for you, they want to.
Why would he lie about that?
Because he wants some money. I never dated anybody that was worth $900 million. Why did all them girls go to the Playboy Mansion? Because they really wanted to be with Hugh Hefner? Or were they looking at, hey, if I go here, my career might get started because somebody in the NFL or NBA may discover me here or whatever. Why don't people do a whole lot of things that they do? Why did O.J. Simpson leave his first wife to marry the second wife? Why did he leave his first black family to marry the white family? Because he wanted his career to take off? Why are people saying Kim Kardashian, Khloe Kardashian, O.J. is really her father? Why do people say a whole lot of stuff? I mean, that's just my opinion. But I'm going to let you go because I don't want to talk your head off. But I'm just saying, why can't the evidence be the deciding factor?
Now, you can stay right there. I'm going to put you on hold, though, okay? Because I'm sure people got something to say about you, and you're going to reply.
Go ahead. I'm ready for
hold. Hey, how you doing, girl?
Hi, Gigi. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I missed you yesterday.
Oh, Gigi, I had to make that money.
I know. You know I'm stingy when it comes to you.
Oh, you're the best, Gigi. Before I even get started, can we please just celebrate 500,000? It's going to happen. It's not a
Yes.
matter of if, but when. 500,000, you're about 21,000 short, and it's going to happen. And your analytics look fantastic because I am nosy and I did check. So,
Did y'all hear that? Lady A, she's such a supporter of us in this channel. She says that we will get to 500K very soon.
oh, yes, you are.
Come on, rally up and support. Make sure y'all subscribe and like this video now. Go
Yes,
ahead.
everyone, definitely like the video. Put the video in the algo. That 6 hour live we had, Gigi, that's already like 50,000 views. That's a 6 hour live.
So thank you for joining that live.
You know I did. So fantastic. Oh, Gigi. I will have to admit, I have been sharpening my claws. I truly have. Hearing Kentucky Fried Chicken speak her spiel.
Tell it. Respond to KFC. Go ahead.
Well, the one word, and it's really just one word to respond to Kentucky Fried Chicken, is retaliation. And this is what victims have to deal with. It is retaliation. On top of the fact that these predators that KFC Kentucky supports, they purposely, and KFC herself, they go to the weakest victim. Everyone in the chat, especially if you're Gen Z, understand something that's very, very important. People like Kentucky are just as bad, if not worse, than the Puff Daddy, the R. Kelly, John Wayne Gacy, Dahmer. They are much worse because they are the ones who put you right in the line of fire. You are in their crosshair because they are the ones who are looking to bring back new victims, because people like Kentucky are very, very much identified towards the predators. It's easier for the Kentucky Fried Chickens of the world to approach you at your job. These type of women, they come off very much like a mentor or an auntie, and you think they're cool and they're great. Like, oh, okay. You hear her. Oh, no, she's fine. Oh, no, 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 no. These are the women who always set you up. Always remember something. When you are abused, especially at your job, the workplace, or at your apartment, or the dorm, and think about it. Many of you are, your early 20s, mid 20s, Gen Z, and you don't know your rights. You don't know your rights. And on top of that, you are in the workplace, which directly affects what? Your income. They always come to you where you make your income. This is where most of the time, 100% really think about it. When you are young, you're in a position, now you're at work because you're no longer in high school. You're now at work. You now have to deal with these old hoes like Kentucky Fried Chicken. They're more than twice your age. They see you. They see that you're young. Regardless if you are a girl or a boy or LGBT, they look at you, they look at your youth, and they know for a fact they can target you because why? You do not know your rights. You don't. Are you going to go to the EEOC? I'm telling you, they don't do a damn thing. Are you going to go to the police? Oh no, you're not going to do a damn thing. I'm telling you, when I was your age, Gen Z, I was being abused at the workplace every single time. Every single time I reported in writing via UPS to the headquarters in California. You know what happened to me? Constant retaliation. And you know what they eventually did? I got fired. Fired. The same people who were abusing and harassing me for years, and I'm reporting it every single time. I'll give you another example. At that same job, a man came at me. I'm 23 years old. This man licked, kissed, and bit my neck, literally at the job. I not only approached him about what happened, and I told him what happened. Of course he knew. His response to me was, I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't know. I have no clue. I told him, I am more worried about these women finding out because I know they're going to come after me, because that's what I was dealing with these women.
I'm so sorry you've been through that, Lady A.
I know, but I want Gen Z to understand. She wants to say, why didn't you go to the police? Why didn't you go to the police? You go to the police, they're not going to do anything. They're not. The only time the police even gets involved is when the DA even decides to take the case. And you really think that they're going to do that for you? Or for Cassie, when she's dealing with a man named Sean Combs, who is a New York native and 100% has activity and connections with an NYPD. Sean Combs, without a doubt, has connections into SDNY. We discussed this on the previous live. Southern District, Manhattan, that is New York, the most elite DA in the United States. The same DA that will transition you to become mayor, Giuliani, or governor, or maybe even president. So do you really think they're going to give a damn about Cassie, some model from Connecticut who's done what? Nothing. Who is quote unquote dating or is the employee of Sean Combs, Puff Daddy, Diddy, a man who has incredible amount of reach. They know they can come after you because they know for a fact nothing is going to be done. I'm telling you, Gen Z, every single time I reported, I not only was retaliated, nothing happened. The same company eventually got sued by the EEOC in 2012. They paid out the victim over $800,000. Never mind the fact that I drove to the EEOC in my city. I actually sat with a woman and I told her what was going on. Do you know what she did? She blamed me.
Got it.
EEOC. I'm just telling you, these KFC women are setting you up. They want to sit here and justify your suffering and your abuse. This is what happened to Cassie, and it has happened to many of you.
Yes.
You are not to blame. I'm sorry, Gigi.
Lady A, I'm so sorry you have to go through that, but I would love to just keep it on like Cassie, because I know certain people gonna call in want to give their personal stories, and we just want to keep it more on the celebrities at hand. But I apologize you went through that, and I think to get an understanding, basically, Cassie was working under Diddy. She was at work. Diddy was her boss. Correct. So for her to go and to try to complain to get some help, and this is her livelihood, she had to worry about retaliation. So Lady A, I'm gonna just put you down. I'm gonna get back to you, okay? KFC, did you hear that?
Yeah, I hear it. I don't respect how she was disrespecting my opinion, because I have a bachelor's in criminal justice and a master's in administration of justice and security. I'm not no chicken head over here. Okay? I said sexual harassment was already exist before Diddy. I'm saying the evidence should be the identifying factor. I didn't say Cassie this, Cassie that. Women have been victimized, but also some women lie and sleep to get to the top as well. So how am I setting you up because I have a difference of opinion? I mean, come on, let's taking a little bit too far. Like, please don't go there with me. I don't know who that caller is, but I'm not a chicken head over here, boo-boo. I have my own opinion. And if you don't, I respect your opinion. I didn't call you any names or interpret what you were saying to be right or wrong. I'm this and that. I mean, it's hard for women to prove sexual harassment as well as racial discrimination in the workplace, period. So what is she talking about? Who said anything about that? I'm just saying the evidence. I want the evidence to convict Diddy, not mere hearsay. That's what I'm saying. But all that trying to say I'm setting you up and I don't know what I'm talking about, that's her opinion. She's entitled to her opinion. Just because you sexually harass, the laws are different for white women in the workplace, black women in the workplace. That's why it should all be on one accord, one level. But it's not that way. But that doesn't make me an idiot because I don't agree with what she's saying. That doesn't make me, because what if Diddy was innocent? I mean, just think, what if he was? Then what? So, I mean, I'm not here to be broadbeat or to be disrespected like that. But that does not, how am I setting you up if I don't agree with Diddy being a predator? I mean, I don't get that one. I don't get that.
The retaliation at the workplace, because you do realize that Cassie was working under Diddy.
Yes, but this is the thing. That's what I was trying to say before, that once he pursued her away from work, that's where she went wrong. Now it's not a working relationship anymore.
Okay, she did not want to be with Diddy in a relationship. She was not attracted to Diddy.
She wanted Diddy to marry her.
Okay, that was a long, during a time where in the middle of it all.
Do you know Cassie and P. Diddy have been broken up since 2019? Since 2019. They act like this just happened last week or 6 months ago. They weren't together. So he had a baby, but just like with Kim Porter, he had another daughter behind. When Kim Porter was pregnant with those twins, he got another lady pregnant.
And did you realize? All right?
He had a baby on Cassidy. He had a baby on Young Miami.
Cassie left Diddy. You're right. And did you know he was still following her? He was still stalking her and stuff. Did you know that? He has never stopped.
Okay, but look, I mean,
he has a control issue. He's a predator.
Why did she take a restraining order out on him?
I don't know if she did or not. I'm pretty sure she probably did.
Okay.
But honey,
so that's why I'm saying with me, I want to wait till all the evidence comes out. Because I think it's wrong when people say, oh, someone looks like they can do this, or they look like they can be guilty, or they look like they can, I want the evidence to convict him. That's just where I stand at. I'm not saying it's hard for women not to prove. We know that. We know it's hard for women to prove their case in the workplace. We know that. We know sexual harassment has always been here since biblical times. I'm not disputing that, but I'm just saying with me, I want the evidence to convict him, not hearsay. Because for so long, a lot of women have lied too. And they have bent the laws to make it work for them. That makes it hard for women who've actually been harassed. That's all I'm saying. All right.
KFC, we can't go into a situation saying, well, Malika lied. So are you lying? Are you lying? Are you lying? That's not right to the victim.
I'm not saying that. I'm talking, all these cases can't be clumped together. They have to be looked at individually. If Puffy is guilty, yes, he should be convicted. But what if he isn't? But what if he was having fun in the privacy of his own home? Then what? No, let me just say this real quick. Just like, you know how many people have been busted?
That 17-year-old sitting on Diddy's lap. Did you see that picture going around at the studio?
Did you see the way Donald Trump's daughter was sitting on his lap?
Okay, but why are we
Did you see Donald Trump telling his daughter she was fine? He wished he could date her?
But why,
if that wasn't his daughter?
Why are we deflecting to Trump when Trump got nothing to do with
I'm not deflecting it, but what I'm trying to say is this. Just like, okay, when you go into the workplace.
Someone else and talk about Trump. What did Trump got to do with Diddy?
No, I'm just saying, like, what people do in the privacy of their own home. Somebody's sitting on your lap. Are you breaking the law because somebody's sitting on your lap? It may be inappropriate. But if you're not up there having sex with them or groping them,
well, that's what the girl said.
Like, I don't get that.
The 17-year-old girl says that they did R her, okay? And that's why she's coming out with the lawsuit.
You can't see the pattern. Everybody's coming up with a lawsuit now. You don't think that's strange?
Hold on, stay right there, KFC. Calling from 323, are you there? 323, caller, are you there? 323.
Yes. Yeah, I'm here.
Yes. What are your thoughts about all of it?
My thoughts is if they didn't have anything on Diddy, they would never broke down the man's door. Now, the feds are involved. They got to cross every T and dot every I. Diddy's finished.
All right. She said Diddy is finished. All right. Thank you so much. Calling from 219. Are you there, 219?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes. What were your thoughts on it?
Well, I kind of do agree with what the young lady is saying. She doesn't want us to keep on continually to drag P. Diddy down into the mud. So I do agree with her on that. But
what?
I also...
You agree with her?
I do agree with her as far as we are really like throwing him in the fire saying that he is guilty. Because we do that a lot. Us as a culture,
Don't you think he deserves that? That's what he deserves. He's been getting away with this for so many long time. He's behind the Tupac bodies and the Biggie body and all this and all that.
He's beginning. I believe he's done some things. Yes, I do. But I believe it, but I have not seen
bodies. He has bodies.
Oh yeah, he's definitely got bodies, real live bodies.
Why should
I'm not
we
talking
be
about those.
on him?
I'm not
why
talking
should
about
we
those
be
sex trafficking.
Why are you agreeing with KFC? Why?
I agree with KFC as far as not having trial. As far as how should I put it? We just lynching him without having real life facts. We didn't see it. It didn't happen to us, so we don't really know for a fact that this has taken place.
But you gotta believe the victims. You're not gonna believe the victims. They are speaking out.
So say for instance, anybody can call and say that they did that. Something has happened to them. Anybody.
But
I could have been on the yacht myself and had a good time.
Has been in a relationship with this man for I don't know how long. Little Rod has worked for this man for I don't know how long. Gene Deal has worked with that man for I don't know how long. These are not just any people that are off the streets. These are people that have relationships with this man, that have worked with this man.
But sometimes when you do open the door for certain things, everyone starts to drop a ball. Sometimes it can be people off the screen at this point. The way it's all over the media and everybody that's throwing their 2 cents in it can possibly happen. And then he has to pay those people too? So all I'm saying is we need to take a step back and let the feds do their job. That's all I'm saying. I understand I believe he's done some things. And I just don't believe that the feds is going after no sex trafficking. This man has really done some things. I think they on a whole other ball game. To be honest.
KFC,
that's just my belief.
Are you hearing this, KFC?
Yeah, and I like what she was saying. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Why do you like that?
Why can't the evidence
KFC?
convict him?
Why?
Because how do we know they're really victims? Because they say they are.
Yes.
Anybody can say anything.
Anybody can say anything.
Now she's going on because he has done some things.
Just anybody, and you guys know that.
I don't know that because
I don't know him personally to be saying what he does at his house. I'm going based upon what they're putting out in the media.
Right.
But that's just it. That's what they're putting out in the media. And at this point in time, everybody's going to be saying something because everybody wants some of that $900 million.
You don't believe what Cat Williams said? Cat Williams.
No, I do not.
Yeah,
I do not because after he went on that Shannon Sharp show.
I believe it's some validity as to what he said. He have free parties. I mean, there's a whole bunch of people that have lockdowns.
I don't believe what Cat Williams did. I don't believe that because after he said that on the show, he released his Netflix. After he said what he said about Diddy on Shannon Sharp, he released his Netflix on his comedy special. Plus, look at Cat Williams' history. He has a history of being arrested for domestic violence. So you have to look at the source.
I believe that P. Diddy has done some free things, but P. Diddy ain't the only man out here he ain't the only one out here pimping now. It's a whole bunch of all the rappers.
Yeah, but we cannot deflect. That is deflecting 219. We got the spotlight on Diddy, and you're saying, well, let's put the spotlight on everybody else. We worry about them later. Right now, it's on Diddy. We gotta put Diddy down.
Forget the phone. You say get the first fish first, huh? And then we worry about the rest of them later.
I got you. Stay right there. Miss Belly, are you there? Well, let's try this one. Miss Belly. Jazzy Belly. Belly Melly.
I think
Belly Melly, can you hear me? I can't hear you, Belly. Can you guys hear Belly? Hold on.
No, she's not talking.
I unmute Belly. Belly, are you there? I can't hear.
She must have hung up.
No, she didn't. I'm right here. This is on StreamYard. All right. So, Belly, come back, because I know Belly been waiting for a minute, and I really want to hear what Belly has to say. I'm going to bring Lady A back. Hold on. I'm going to bring Lady A back into the conversation. How are you doing, Lady A?
Hey, Gigi, I am well.
All right. So do you have anything to say about what these ladies are saying? And we can just keep it on Diddy and Cassie's situation.
Absolutely. Everything staying on Puff's and Cassie's situation, you're hearing it. They refuse to accept the fact that retaliation is real. They can speak in circles and go back and forth and ask questions. Why doesn't it happen? Well, they should have done this. All of these like hypotheticals, even if she did everything right. Here's a question though. Would we be speaking about, Cassie, the victim who received a settlement, or would we be speaking about, Cassie in the same light as Kim Porter? Like that's what these.
That's it. That's exactly what it is. You know what it is.
That's what Kentucky and Church's Chicken refuse to discuss.
So I went from KFC to Popeyes and Church's Chicken.
That's what they own.
I'm everything now. The Mighty Wings for McDonald's, everything. I just said let the evidence convict them.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm like Churches, I'm Bojangles, I'm fried wings with mumbo sauce from the Chinese place. I'm just all of the chicken products.
That's what they're about. I didn't want to just throw that out there, but they on something bigger than what we talking about.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all agree here that if he's guilty, he should be convicted, and it's about time. But if he isn't, that's all I'm saying. The evidence should be the deciding factor, not hearsay.
Exactly.
Because at this point in time, everybody's going to come out and say something. Right. Because they saw that Cassie got paid. And what I think is strange about it is how she wouldn't go to the authorities first, but went to her lawyers, got the money, and now she want to go back to the authorities. That is, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Does that make sense?
She's also bitter. You think she don't want Diddy? She loves him. She bitter. So yeah, she gonna have a problem with certain things. She's a bitter, even though she's married, got a child and everything. She's still bitter at this point.
Well, exactly. How could you say Cassie is bitter? How could you?
Because okay, look. How many times do you think within her lifetime another man is going to come along that has what Puffy has and want to be with her?
I'm sure she was not with Diddy for the money. She was a prisoner in that home. Y'all don't get that? She was a prisoner.
She didn't look like one to me.
Well, that's how Diddy wanted it to look like. But she was a prisoner. Make no mistake.
But how do we know that when we don't know Diddy?
And Gigi, if she were to leave, how is she supposed to make income?
12 years. By the time in law, that was his wife, basically. And he should have been.
If she were to leave her employer, how is she supposed to make income when her employer owns her brand, her masters, and also what we discussed, Gigi, distribution.
Contract.
And also, Gigi, what we discussed the other day, distribution.
You all. She asked him for that money first. Before she did anything, she asked him, if you don't give me what I'm asking you for, I'm going to go to court. He didn't believe her. He thought that her love for him was so strong that she wanted to do it. Okay, let me ask you this.
Why come Lizzo is being sued right now for sexual harassment from her own female employees?
Yep, I know about that too.
Lizzo's in a sexual harassment lawsuit right now. Do you think all the women with the Me Too movement are telling the truth? Come on now.
They too happy.
A lot of them are not. They want a payday like everybody else.
Employers, yep, but they employees. They too happy go lucky.
I can't
exactly. So if he's guilty, he should do the time.
I can't believe y'all, but I'm gonna keep y'all on hold. Stay right there, because we got some people that gotta say something back to y'all too. I can't believe these two. KF's Lady A, are you still there?
I am. And it's so great that these women came on this live so people can really hear how the other side thinks. It's especially with the young people in your live chat. This is what you're going to, these type of, Wingstop
Let's not
and
do
Williams
personal,
Chicken.
let's keep it on Cassie and Diddy.
No, absolutely. I mean, that's the example. This is the example that we're following. You're hearing what they're saying. Wingstop and Williams Chicken. You're hearing directly how they keep rationalizing. This is a rationale of what occurred with Cassie. Oh, we definitely need to wait for the evidence. There's so many people. We don't know. One thing, when remember, Cassie at the workplace, it just keeps continuing. There's always more. And remember, she's the one. She's the number one. Gina tried to put herself into Cassie's position. She was told, hey, know your place, know your position. Again, look at what happened with Kim Porter. Kim Porter is the first lady of Uptown Records. Kim Porter, Uptown Records, her employer. And arguably, she's the very, very first one before Cassie. And we see what happened to her. Imagine being Cassie and you're finding out what happened to Kim Porter when Cassie and Kim Porter knew each other. And then she just mysteriously passes away. And you're Cassie in your 20s, and the the mother of the children just passes away. How is she supposed to comprehend that? Nobody wants to bring up that fact as well.
She's going to think she's next. She's going to do whatever she got to do to stay alive, because right now, Cassie have to survive in that prison that she's in. You guys don't understand. Diddy locked her in a 10-year contract. And this is when she was so not, this is when she was a child. And this is how these predators do. They go after these young girls, like Jay-Z went after Foxy Brown when she was 14. Like Jay-Z going after Aaliyah when she was underage, and so on and so forth. And they even saying that Beyonce mama pimp her out to be with Jay-Z. Okay?
Can I talk about that? Do you mind if I speak about that, Gigi? Tina Knowles, may I?
Tina Knowles pimp Beyonce out to be with Jay-Z. Go ahead.
So I don't know. I think some people in your live chat know this story. So, Tina Knowles was flying first class with another woman. An older white Caucasian woman, a woman of, the same age group, peer as Tina Knowles. The Caucasian woman brought up something to Tina Knowles. How could you give your daughter to that drug dealer? Like, she brought it up. You, Beyonce, to that? Tina Knowles apparently responded, with a lot of attitude, and and she, oh, he's this and he's that. She was really trying to embellish and bring up Jay-Z. But that's the question: is Beyonce comes from such a pedigree. Why would Tina Knowles do that to a man who, without a doubt, and is on record and has said it himself, from Marcy Projects, he's a pusher. You're a pusher. He is. He moves weight. That's what he did. That's what he claims he did to provide the initial startup capital for Rockefeller Records. Everyone is still wondering why Tina Knowles would be okay to do something like that. Because of all the men for Beyonce to be with, you would put your Beyonce, who comes from such an amazing family, her background, the pedigree, to that. So I just want to bring that up from what you said, pimping her out. Well, maybe she did. There's her reasons, but people do see like this. There's a discrepancy here. There is. And it goes back to what you just said right now, Gigi. Like, did Tina Knowles may or may have not pimped out? I don't want to believe something like that. A 17-year-old Beyonce to a very grown, Jay-Z. And they've been together since around that, 02. Because we do remember Bonnie and Clyde 03, and they were together. So they've been together basically since after Aaliyah's passing.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, hold on, lady. I'm going to put you down for 1 second. I'm going to get back to you. Calling from 267. You're live on the air.
Hey, Gigi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you well. What are your thoughts about
Hey.
what we're talking about? All of it.
So I do think that Diddy is guilty. This is Carabella speaking. I do enjoy your channel first and
Hey,
foremost, and I appreciate the
I was
chat.
trying to hit that thing, Bella. No, well,
It's
hold
okay,
on.
boo. It's
Yeah,
okay.
okay, go ahead.
It's okay. But no, I do think he's 100% guilty, and I think that Aoki has no business with that older man. He's 65. He's old enough to be that girl's grandfather.
Yes, yes. And I don't know if you noticed, but she's talking about Russell Simmons' daughter. She told him, if you don't give me money, daddy, I'm going to have to go find a sugar daddy. But to me, it's like she is a working girl. She has money, so I don't know why she has to go there, but she does. People say it's daddy issues, and it's possibly because she seemed like she does not have the best relationship with her daddy, and I don't know how that relationship gonna go. Are they gonna have kids? Are they gonna get married? What is it? And then you have so many people.
You know they can't.
That's just right.
All he got to offer Gigi is some money. That's it. That's all that girl is looking for. She not trying. I'm like, that girl is a Harvard graduate. She could have went on ahead and got any job that she wanted to. She intentionally wanted to be with that man, and she can do that. She's 21, she's grown, but it's not right. If he pimps her out, then what?
Well, she just gonna get manipulated because the 65-year-old mind versus a 21-year-old mind, baby, you cannot compete with that mind. You cannot compete with the manipulation tax that man can have on her. Okay, she is still a child. Okay, in his eyes, and will always be. And I think he will use her to get with other young girls because it sends out a signal. And maybe he got a thing for young little girls, okay, young black girls.
There you go.
So maybe he need to use that.
And you notice we haven't heard anything about Ming. I'm like, Aoki. She went on here and graduated from Harvard. Where's her sister doing?
And you know, these hood rat mamas will send their daughter his way just like they did R. Kelly. They will send these black little girls his way to think they're going to be up next. And that is the signal that they're sending out. Because I hear a lot of girls in the comment, oh, girl, give me one next. I want a sugar daddy. I want a sugar daddy. Y'all want a sugar daddy, but y'all
you got to kiss them crusty men. You don't know what you got to do for that coin. I think not.
Yeah, they think that shit is so easy. When he want to do golden, just like y'all uplifted that Young Miami and Diddy shit. When Young Miami got with Young Diddy, y'all was so thankful. Oh yeah, girl, get that money. All money ain't good money. All money ain't good money. But let them tell it, honey. They don't see nothing but the money. But yeah, hold on. KFC, are you there?
Right. Let me just jump in there real quick with the lady who was talking about Jay-Z and Beyonce. First of all, I guess she never heard that Beyonce lies about her age. She's not really 42. They say she's 48. And she's gotten away with the industry saying that she's 6 years younger than what she really is. And as far as Kimora Lee's daughter is concerned, the guy that her mother married, Kimora Lee married after she left Russell Simmons, got locked up for stealing a lot of money from Malaysia, like $1 billion. So she was dating Russell Simmons when she was 18. So like mother, like daughter. But as far as Beyonce, they have said for years, Beyonce is a lot older than the age she's telling people. She's not 42. She's 48 years old. So if that's the case, she was not underage when she started dating Jay-Z. See, that's the thing. You only know what they tell you about these people. You don't know their personal lives. I don't know Jay-Z and Beyonce personally, or Kimora Lee, or Diddy. So, I mean, I'm just speculating, saying things on mere hearsay. So how can my hearsay be wrong and yours be right when you don't know them either? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't. Just like they say, Jay-Z is close to 60. It's a known fact that these artists lie about their age when they get in their business. Come on, man. That's nothing new either. Like, he was dating Beyonce. She was underage, right? He's a pedophile, too. They said Beyonce is 6 years older than what she really is. Google it in if you think I'm lying. They said she was born in 1976.
Okay, well, what about
She's old. That's why she can't have any more kids anymore. She was supposed to have 4 kids. That's why she stopped at 3. She's not the age that you think she is. So I don't know what people are talking about either. Like, you got to do your research before you spread rumors on
Beyonce lies,
people.
period.
She
Like,
lies,
just in general.
period.
She still, I mean, like,
Right.
when she did have that quote-unquote baby, when she had that interview, didn't it collapse? But she was
The
allegedly
stomach
supposed to be
folded
pregnant
up.
during that time.
Yeah,
Like,
and they
what
said
was
she was
that
using a
about? And she
surrogate.
looked stupid on camera.
Right, exactly. So these people be acting like they really know their business to be trying to tag team me. You don't know any more about it than what I do. You get your information from social media just like what I do. But it's a common fact that Beyonce lied about her age. She's a lot older than what she is. And they're saying that's one of the reasons why, because they wanted 4 kids. That's why she stopped at 3, because she had so many complications when she had the twins. If you think I'm lying, just Google it in. Beyonce lies about her age.
She could have used
the answer is right there.
She got the money.
So you don't know if she
It's
was
okay if
underage
she
when
didn't
she
have
was
those babies
dating or
last
not.
week.
Can you believe Google? And don't Google lie?
But these artists lie as well, do they not?
They do. I'm saying Google lie too.
Look
right?
how long Smokey Robinson been saying he's 75. Somebody say he's like 99.5 years old. But that's his business if he wants to do that. But these artists do lie, though. They don't tell the truth.
So what do you think
Come
about
on.
Tina pimping out Beyonce for Jay-Z? Do you think that is some truth?
That is a lie. That is a lie. Because if Beyonce lied about her age, she was of age to make her own decision on who she wanted to be with. Why would her mother need to pimp her out? Especially when their father was cheating on her. Why would she need to do that? I mean, come on now. I mean, it's like this stuff just goes crazy and crazy and crazy. I just get.
Well, let me ask you
it's crazy
this.
for me.
Do you think that R. Kelly and Aaliyah, do you think that was wrong?
Yes, I do. Now, I think that was a predator situation right there, 100%. But I think her parents knew and they were okay with it. Because why did her uncle have so much to say about how much he loved her and all that when you saw all this going on and you didn't step up? It was about the money. That's all I got to say. Money talks. Even the Bible says the money is the root of all sorts of injurious things. It rules the world. Okay, so it's like I don't believe nothing nobody says. That's my right, though. That doesn't mean I'm crazy or I'm stupid. I just know that they only want you to believe what they tell you. And I don't know their personal business. I mean, why would Drake, the rapper Drake, have to have a baby with somebody off of Instagram? Why couldn't he just be in a normal relationship and get someone pregnant? Why was Michael Jackson paying his nurse to carry his babies? Why do people do a whole lot of stuff? Dang, I mean, can't nobody answer that? Why did Oprah never get married? Why come Oprah never had no kids or adopted? It's her prerogative. It's her business.
All right.
I don't know.
Who wants to have kids with Oprah?
Hold on.
But I'm saying, why did Oprah and Stedman never get married? They've been dating since 1980.
The face card is just not there.
Got it. Well,
but why do people do a whole lot of things?
Okay, hold on.
Is what I'm saying.
Calling 703. You're live on the air.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so I'm going to start off with Beyonce does not come from good pedigree. She used to speak like she had rocks in her mouth.
90
Jay-Z
seconds.
and Beyonce brought each other up. That's how that went down. She stopped talking country. She stopped dressing country. She does not come from pedigree. Number 2, Hugh Hefner and P. Diddy have a lot in common. If anybody watched the documentary, the docuseries on Hugh Hefner, he had freak offs in the 70s.
60 seconds.
And he recorded and filmed everyone, celebrities, sports players, whoever. So there's not a big difference between these two. Wendy Williams, where are you? Put that wig back on and come on out. And she needs to tell her stories. The same reason why she got fired from the radio station. The same reason why P. Diddy did not, basically blackballed her. Finally brought his bottom back on her show years after that. Now, as far as Cassie and Diddy, he provided her with houses, cars, clothes, travel. She was 17 years
10
old.
seconds.
At 17 years old, I'm sorry. From 17 to 28, that's a whole different mindset, a whole different mindset, a completely different mindset. I don't give it, it is. And nobody knows Cassie's background. She may have, who knows where she came from? No, her family may have been hungry. She was able to probably provide her family with finances.
Mm-hmm.
So people don't understand Munchausen syndrome, not Munchausen. Now I'm on a whole different topic. But people don't understand you can be in love with your captor. And he probably, and I don't know how to say this without being explicit, the MFer probably had some kind of device he dropped in her vajayjay so he could follow her wherever she needed to go, And he hunted her down. And this is what people don't understand. Houses paid for, cars paid for, travel paid for, but no cash. No cash. Only credit cards. And that's it. So then he could follow everything she did. He was in control of it. Kim Porter. And this is where everybody needs to go back and get back to it. How does a woman travel to Africa for 2 weeks, goes to Atlanta for her son's, the opening of his film, and then goes back home and passes away? It's been reported that Kim had already pulled out on him before in New York and did a pack up everything. He walks in the door and she's gone. Everything's gone. And if we go back to the top of it, I'm just going to drop one name, Clive Davis. And I'm going to say this. There was a rumor, this is all alleged, that Kim had report of Whitney Houston's death, her true death. Clive Davis still hosted a Grammy party in the same hotel that his number one artist had passed in. And they couldn't even get her body out quick enough. And the party still went on. And the autopsy, which I haven't done the research, I'm sure the same person that did the autopsy on Whitney did the same autopsy on Kim. Whitney's original autopsy, she had bruises all over her body. She had inside injuries. She had all kinds of stuff going on. This is all alleged. And he was told to take Kim out because it was an issue and it was a problem, period. And anybody that knows, Whitney Houston did not take baths in a hotel. And she passed away in a bathtub, just like her daughter, Chrissy, did not take baths when she wasn't home. But they passed away the same way. This is all industry. It goes down like this. The Illuminati, all this kind of stuff. And P. Diddy, unfortunately, he is not going to have any ramifications for any of this. What's going to happen is they're going to shoot this attorney down. They're going to shoot him all the way down. Everything, they're going to break it all down. And he will float away to another country like Russel Simmons, a.k.a. Russel Simmons. If anybody watched the documentary that Showtime aired, and I don't remember the lady's name, that she talked about how he raped her and he had 14 women come out after that. And that ninja took his tail right on over to Thailand, Ibiza, wherever he went on somewhere. He knew it was time to go. He knew he had to get out and get out quickly. So with all this being said, you just have to connect the dots. Connect the dots. It is called the Illuminati. and this is how stuff goes down. And KFC, or I'm sorry, and I don't mean to talk poorly about you. Sorry, that's my ring going off. But there's a lot of facts. This man has been he's been dirty for a long time. What I call a dirty dick. He's had a dirty dick for a very, very, very long time. Let's not cuss
too much, but I appreciate, and everybody loves you in the chat 703. But let's not cuss too much. But if you want to talk to
I'm
KFC,
sorry, I apologize.
If you want to talk to, I'll open the KFC line up. So you
okay, now this is what I want to say. Let me say this real quick. She talked about Wendy Williams, all right? Let's talk about a woman who would allow their husband to have a mistress and spend their own money on them. Does that make sense? Who's Wendy Williams talking about? Plus, Wendy Williams used to be addicted to drugs too. So she can't talk about nobody. All I'm saying is this. They say Stevie Wonder can't see, okay? But didn't he get arrested for beating his wife? He saw something, didn't he? I don't believe everything that people tell me. All right? Go Google in Stevie Wonder's wife had him arrested for domestic violence, but I thought he was blind and he couldn't see. All right? So I don't believe everything that people say.
I did read that.
KFC, you did read that Stevie Wonder beat his wife behind?
Yes. Yes,
okay,
ma'am. I
so
sure
I
did.
don't believe everything that people say.
I'm gonna co-sign on you. I don't know where he was hitting and how he was hitting.
Well, he must have been smelling her. Maybe it was a rainbow in the sky and it was the back of her head.
Yeah.
But I know he went to jail for domestic violence.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so Wendy Williams. So Wendy Williams knew she needed a handler. But why, and I'm going to say this, why not have your number one demon and your handler in your household so you can watch and see what he's doing? That's how I would play it. She knew about that shit. And the thing that she said, and this is where women kill me. This is where women they're very disappointing to me. Tell the truth. Go ahead and tell the truth.
That's what I was agreeing with you earlier.
Don't sit up here. Wendy knew she needed a handler, and it's better to have your number one demon and your handler in your household. So she knew that old girl had a house down the street. She knew that. Her number one rule was you cannot bring another baby into this situation. And what did he do? He broke the agreement. Period.
Right.
Period. So I'm just saying we can all sit back and we can all judge and stuff. I've moved in certain situations. I've been a personal assistant, celebrity, wealthy, all this. So I've seen a lot of things just going down. I've seen this stuff before.
Right.
So this is nothing new. This is why I brought up Hugh Hefner. This dude has been sitting up in this mansion in his pajamas for decades. And it's just so funny that he died the day after the Me Too movement came out. Unfortunately, Cassie, and I'm sorry, Cassie she is still a victim. She ran off with a personal trainer. Get out of here. She ran off. She left him. She ran off with a personal trainer. And she had been...
he hired for her.
Yeah, there we go. But she's still a victim. She finally realized what did Orange Juice Jones say about you juiced a squirrel trying to get a nut? She was taking those the acorns and putting them in the bank because she knew what time it was. She knew she made her exit plan. Any time a woman is abused and it keeps going on, and sometimes they figure it out, sometimes they don't. Cassie figured out. Cassie came up and she knew she had to go public. She knew she had to go public because she was going to be another Kim Porter. Allegedly, her and Kim Porter had been talking before.
But Kim Porter was just a secretary of Uptown MCA. She was not a
Porter,
singer.
And I hear you, KFC. I hear you. Kim Porter is from a small little town in Georgia. She came up. She was a beautiful woman.
Exactly.
Very nice. very sweet, very loving. She was his secret keeper. She kept all his secrets. She had his baby. She could not get away from him. And for the love of life, I cannot remember the guy that she dated.
Right.
And this guy came up dead. I'm so sorry to disappoint anybody, but he is a monster. And ain't no cookie monster. Well,
I don't believe it. You know what? So
what
do you think about Anthony Anderson then? That was on the hit show, The Blackish. Remember, they accused him of SA too, and that made his career stop.
Yeah, but I'm just
we're gonna stick
with this one. We are going to stick with the subject and with
okay, but
what's
you
going on
talked about
right
Russell
now.
Simmons. Remember Russell Simmons, Def Jam Comedy Jam? They were speculating that he was messing with men because they said he would slap them on the behind. Remember that? It's like they say that about everybody that goes to the top.
But you know what? But here's the deal. How about all these football players that have come out now that are gay? And I've been looking at, I've dated, my high school boyfriend was the captain of the football team, all that BS. I was wondering back then, why are they so touchy-feely and this and that? And if people really, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to let you go. I'm going to let everybody go. But I'm going to say this. When you go back to the 18th centuries and all this, when you see those excuse me, Gigi, sorry. But when you see those paintings of the woman laid up and she's got one man on the other side and another man on the other side, and the man is touching this one and the man is touching that one, regardless of what turns you on, we all have the same spot.
But can I give you something real quick before you leave? I want you to hear this real quick.
Wait, KFC, hold on. I got to get Lady A.
Okay.
Lady A, what were your thoughts about 703 commentary? Lady A?
Hi, Gigi. No, just, waiting quietly.
I know you're so patient.
Yeah. Oh, of course, Gigi. Of course, it is your channel.
703.
It's your channel. She clearly does not understand, without a doubt, what pedigree means. And trust and believe, Beyonce does come from the pedigree. Secondly, Wingstop is just once again proving.
I'm not talking about KFC. I'm sorry, Lady A. What are your thoughts about 703? 703.
Right.
Let's not please just leave KFC alone. 703. I want your commentary on 703.
What did you say?
KFC.
Wingstop? Did you call her Wingstop?
Beyonce's age. Beyonce's of age. Anyone who is from the particular area where she grew up, Beyonce is her age. There's more than enough recordings. There are more than enough people.
I didn't say anything about her age. We're talking about her pedigree.
Beyonce comes from the pedigree. I just point blank simple. I don't need to go into depth, but she does.
You're talking about class. Kelly Rollins, which Beyonce's parents basically adopted because Kelly Rollins' mother was a full-time housekeeper or maid or nanny or whatever. Beyonce's parents basically adopted Kelly Rollins. Kelly Rollins has more, and I don't even like to use the word pedigree because it reminds me of like the dog food pedigree. What I like to use is class, know-how, and educated. How to speak, how to talk, how to walk, how to present yourself. So I don't really like to use the word pedigree. But I didn't say anything about her age. I just said that
Gigi, I simply just to go ahead and state Beyonce comes from the pedigree. Beyonce, it does come from a very, very solid pedigree. She truly does. She does, she is a country girl. She's Beyonce. She is country.
I'm a country girl.
Beyonce, 100%. She has the background, and her background does open quite a bit of doors. She comes from a very good background. She does. Beyonce comes from the pedigree. She really does. And people can make comments about how Beyonce speaks. Gigi, I'm not going to be too mean, but I'll just 703. You really want to, you of all people, I'm just going to leave, I'll leave it right there. I'll just stop because I don't want, because people get mad at me in the chat. I don't want to make people upset. But 703, madam, don't. You are not the caliber to start making comments that Beyonce does not come from the proper pedigree. You don't even understand what pedigree means.
My mother went to the same finishing school that Jack and Onassis did.
Of course.
We can talk about pedigree.
Of course.
If we're going to talk about pedigree, then don't get it twisted. And don't get it twisted.
I won't.
Because, honey, I was just talking to my girlfriend the other day, talking about how when we lost everything and I had to go to the store and pay $20 at 16 years old and get some ground beef, a whole chicken, chop that chicken up, make chicken noodle soup, fry chicken wings, make some tacos, and it would last all week. So there's difference. So
what does that have to do with anything? So you made dinner. What does that have to do with Beyonce, who of course comes from the pedigree?
Can we get back to Diddy?
No, that's awesome. She said something really interesting. Her mother went to the finishing school where Jacqueline Bouvier Kennedy Onassis attended. Excellent.
Yes, ma'am.
That is wonderful. Good for you. Still, Beyonce comes from the pedigree, and you made dinner one night. Moving on.
No, that was one night, honey. Remember, I said $20 lasted for 7 days. That wasn't one night.
KFC, all right. Are you there?
Okay, so you made dinner, and you made.
I just want to throw in this real quick.
Fantastic.
The same thing with like Martin Lawrence. He was sued for sexual harassment by Tisha Campbell, right? Who was his co-star on the sitcom show Martin. In that lawsuit, Tisha Campbell claimed, who played Gina, that she experienced ongoing sexual harassment, sexual battery, verbal abuse, and related threats by Lawrence. She quit the show. And then Lawrence walked away from the show himself. It was settled out of court, and now they're good. They're on good terms. All I'm saying is, I know there's victims out there, but there's also people who try to work the system as well. That's all I'm saying.
But Martin Lawrence did do that to Gina.
No, he did not.
Yes, he did.
Okay. After Gina left the show, what happened to her career? Did she go anywhere? Did she take off? Just like Cassie. Now that Cassie's not with P. Diddy, where's her music career at? Why come she didn't re-sign with someone else? That, I mean, you know,
had a music career.
Cassie.
Oh,
why come when she left P. Diddy, she didn't? Her career didn't take off. Why didn't she just sign with somebody else? If she's so talented.
She locks because he that's what he does. He locks everyone in. He locks them in. He takes their money.
He didn't lock Toto in.
Yes, he did. Have you seen that?
That girl went on and married Omar Epps and everything. Keisha and all them.
Yeah, but we're talking about business. We're talking about singing, making money. What happened to all of his bands, all of his groups? What happened to them?
That era of music went away. These new people are not into the Jodeci. That's the old era of music. Like this Generation X, whatever, they're not into them, the Jodeci and Mary J. Blige. That's old music, just like the Temptations and our parents' day.
KFC, could you be turning?
Honey, I still like the Rubber Band Man. I still like Daddy. Papa was a Rolling
We have
Stone.
Malcolm here. Malcolm, what were your thoughts, Malcolm?
Well, first of all, my first thought is if he didn't do anything, why did he pay? That's my first thought. And then my second thought is
okay, 785. Are you there? I don't know what the hell.
I love you, Gigi. I love you. I do. I love you. I'm gonna have to sign on off. Thank you for everyone. I appreciate you.
We really enjoyed you, 703.
Have a good night.
You too. All right. 785. Are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah. What were your thoughts?
So I wanted to ask the question that Malcolm just asked. If Diddy was innocent and Cassie didn't have any evidence against him, And she had to lay it all out in that civil suit that her lawyer filed with the court. Why would, in less than 24 hours, why would he give her 30, and I've heard estimates that were higher than 30 million, but why would he give her $30 million if he knew he was innocent and she didn't have a case against him?
But we haven't seen what's in the lawsuit.
Hold on, KFC. Lady A, did you hear that? What was your response to that, Lady A?
Hi, Gigi. Are you referencing Malcolm, or I didn't hear what the last person said?
I think 785. She was also talking about Malcolm's question about if he's not guilty, then why did he pay so fast?
Right.
Puff had to pay. He can't have something like this out. And also having this go through court, I think that's civil in New York State. He doesn't want this to go through court. When you sue, it becomes part of court record, regardless of the outcome. It's still court record, and it can be researched through Pacer or just looked up. So he's not going to want something like this. I don't even think this is available. We only have, there's 30 pages. There's actually 700. Someone mentioned that on another live, another YouTuber, and you can actually, if you have access, it's like 700 pages. 300, sorry. He's not going to want that part of court record. And you can bring out more in court. Did you read the first 30 pages? It even states that go through the judge, go through court, more will be brought out during the trial. Puff does not want this to go through trial. Everybody wants to stop these things from going.
If he's innocent, then why wouldn't he want it to go to trial?
Well, if I may share something with you that Michael Jackson said, Michael Jackson's attorney, Tom Mesereau, he said that they just wanted to close the matter and move on. Because if it goes through trial, that trial is court record. That's court transcript. And that can be available eventually to the general public. They don't want things like that to happen. Like, imagine if you wanted
But if Diddy didn't do anything, then what does he have to keep from the public?
Well, I'll play devil's advocate. If you don't
since the 90s, Diddy and his freak off parties, this is nothing new to people. Just like R. Kelly and those rumors flew around. And honestly, I think Cassie was the catalyst that really gave people the courage to come out. Yes, one person standing against the giant.
If I may, Gigi, the caller's making a very good point. But something that we discussed on your other live is insurance. Remember, your insurance, they run through something, they run through Equifax. Everybody should know Equifax. That's how we know we get like our apartments and all that stuff. Those Equifax also pulls court cases. You don't want that when you're trying to get an insurance premium, get the lowest rate. You don't want to have a whole bunch of court cases that have already been adjudicated. That's the important word. Whenever this goes through trial, at some point, the matter will have to be adjudicated. They do not want something like that to happen. They just like, I'll just pay you to make this go away. Because if you go through trial, then the trial will be eventually adjudicated either by the judge or by jury. They don't want that. They don't. That's what Puff doesn't want. I'm not saying you're wrong. You're correct. I'm just speaking from these perspective of these people. They don't want to go through trial. Even if they're in the right, you don't even want to have Go ahead. I'll be on.
Follow your logic, because if the goal was to have this swept under the rug, paying that $30 million did not do any of that. In fact, it drew attention to him. Like, what is he trying to cover up? This is record setting to settle a civil suit in less than 24 hours.
Yeah.
That is what made people stop and pause.
785, I agree with you, Sam. Do you have me on speaker? Can you turn your volume up or take it off?
Who,
Yes,
me?
ma'am. Hold on.
Yeah, that's better. And did you hear that, KFC?
Okay, is this better?
Yeah,
I don't
much
agree
better.
with none of that.
And did
I don't agree with none of
KFC,
that. I don't
he
agree with none of
settled.
that.
Well, let me tell you again. He settled because he's guilty. He's guilty.
I know he settled with her, but I think that was mostly because he released when they dissolved their relationship. I think he also dissolved the contract for her being signed as an artist. So because of that, I think that's how they got him. Like, because he pursued her romantically, her professional life suffered. Because you still don't know the reason why he settled. You're just hearing all these allegations now. But just like Michael Jackson, when he paid that $25 million, now the alleged boy that was a victim is coming out saying he lied. Did the same thing to Mike.
So
because
Gigi,
like the longer his name was going to be out there, the more it was going to tarnish his credibility.
Gigi,
but I don't think Puffy paid it because he did anything to her.
Gigi, Michael Jackson paid over like $55 million for that to settle that 1993 case. $55 million. Michael Jackson's attorney, Tom Mesereau, he directly said that Michael Jackson he deeply regretted paying that money because he felt that opened the doors for other people to come after him. That's what he said. And in a sense, it was correct. That's a sense of that. So, but however, what we also discussed, Gigi, is number one, when we're looking at the Michael Jackson case, where is the history? Where is the pattern of abuse? Let's remember, we have been hearing this about Puff for over 2 decades. We have all at some point
you've been hearing
stories about Cassie for over 2 decades. So Cassie goes ahead, she files a civil case. Fine, understand that. Puff pays. Puff pays because he does not want to go through trial. If Puff goes through trial, the matter will have to be adjudicated. He does not want to deal with that. He went ahead, let me just go ahead, pay her, wash my hands of this. Because now, think about it. Is there a court transcript? There's no court transcript because there's no trial. He settled, which is not an admission of guilt, but it does look sketchy as hell. Understand, not a problem. But what we don't know is, number one, Puff may have already been under investigation. There's so much more going on with him that we don't know. Because remember, like I mentioned, Gigi, the FBI also had Michael Jackson under investigation for well over 10 years, and they found nothing. They eventually closed that case.
Can I say this real quick?
Oh, yeah, go ahead, Wingstop.
Can I say this? Okay, when the police raided Michael Jackson's ranch, they found no incriminating evidence there. But they still took him to jail. This is before they took him to jail. He had to post bond at $3 million, and they made him surrender his passport. They have done none of that for Buffy yet, to Diddy.
Okay, Gigi, I can respond.
And he paid
Number one,
$30 million allegedly, and they have not made him surrender his passport. They have not made him.
You don't know that.
They didn't take him to jail or nothing.
You don't know that. Number one, we don't know if we don't. However, when it comes to Puff, let's separate and understand Michael Jackson and Puff Daddy. I'm sorry.
Right after Lady A. Go ahead, Lady A. Right after Lady A 785, I get you. Go ahead, Lady A.
Okay, when we're talking police, let's be very clear. If we're going to say the police, what is the actual organization that raided Michael Jackson's house? That was not the federal government. That was not the feds. That was the state of California. I don't know which police department, but it was not the federal government. We all know the FBI. We all know the FBI. We've later on found out the FBI had an open file, but no federal organization went after Michael Jackson. What Wingstop is making a very good point at is that even though there is a raid, that's not necessarily an admission of guilt, not necessarily. But the Puff Daddy situation, let's remember, you are having a federal agency as a specific investigative unit in Homeland Security going after Puff. For Homeland, there is clearly a situation across state lines. We didn't hear that when it comes to Michael Jackson about moving across state lines. Secondly, there clearly already was an open issue because what were they looking for? They took cameras, recordings, etc. They're taking information to go ahead, what we can understand, to build the case. What we do know was a federal judge had enough evidence. They were willing to make the decision to go ahead and sign off, a federal judge to sign off on a search warrant in 2 states. Not only 2 states, Let's also not forget the amount of resources that was used. And because I actually looked this up, what Mike said, it was about 100 people in each state. So the federal government is coordinating with 2 states. One of those states is very hostile, DeSantis, to the federal government. Regardless, Homeland Security is not just going to enter a state and go ahead and raid. It's a very big deal. Because remember, I know I'm a little jumping off, but when we're looking at states' rights, something of this magnitude, there is a well-coordinated effort, not just the federal government, but also with with the city police. I don't know whether Miami PD in California, LA, people are working in conjunction together to make sure this is a follow-through. And let's forget,
Can I say this real quick?
This is not DEA. This is
Can I
not
say this?
FBI. It is Homeland Security, the investigative unit that is specific, that handles trafficking. So we're looking at not just federal, there could also be an international component as well. So I just want to just bring that up for everyone on the panel and also in the live chat. Thank you.
785, go ahead, because KFC 785 been wanting to say something.
Thank you. So I do want to say that to a certain extent, like a very, very small, do I stand on the side of KFC? I do think Diddy's guilty. I think 100% he's been out here abusing people, assaulting them, unaliving them, 1,000%. Now, the way that it plays out in the public, I do think it's really, really, really embellished. And this is my theory. He had this pending lawsuit against Ciroc, right? And I think that what the people who own Ciroc did was they decided that they were going to throw him under the bus. They knew what kind of a Diddy, who he was. They knew what kind of parties he had. They knew what kind of people he was connected to. So I wouldn't be surprised if one of them went to Cassie and said, hey, we know what you got against him. Let's make this happen. They could have even threatened her. But I do think she's telling the truth, 100%. But even the human trafficking element of it, which sounds really horrible, you're like, oh my God, this guy was really bad. The 17-year-old girl that came out with the suit against him, her story is that she met his, I think it was his manager in Detroit. They got on the plane, they flew to New York. That right there is human trafficking. But in our mind, when we hear human trafficking, we think young people chained up in dark rooms and they're, but this.
Well, he did have Cassie chained up. And Cassie couldn't go nowhere.
He might have. Whether it's psychological chains, mental chains, I don't know, but I do think, and
so he has some whips and chains.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sure he did, and the plugs and the everything. But I think that the reason that they haven't taken his passport or charged him for anything yet is because when those people went in his house, I don't think they were getting evidence against him. I think they were gathering evidence to destroy it. Obama was at his freak off. Do you know how many politicians and powerful people will come to his freak off?
You said Obama.
No,
I don't believe
him
Obama.
and Michelle
KFC,
would attend those parties. Listen, everybody that went to a freak off.
Do you
didn't
believe
get
Obama was there?
Freaky.
No.
Obama is a
yes.
man.
Obama was.
No,
at
I don't
those
believe it.
parties.
I don't believe that.
Just
and if he
because
was
they were there,
it was not a freak off party.
Okay.
It was not a freak off party. That's what I'm saying. Everybody keeps coming out with all this stuff.
Let's say they were never there. Let's say they were never there. There were other very powerful people that attended these parties that don't want their name dragged out into the light. So those police, those Homeland Security, quote unquote, went in to get that evidence, to sift through it. And what do you think they're going to do? They're going to destroy the evidence that implicates the people that they're working for. Diddy recorded everything. He had cameras in every house.
Can I just say this real quick?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know back in 2022, Diddy made a big move into the cannabis game with 100. He purchased the major pot players for $185 million. He is the boss of the first and largest minority-owned weed company in the world. Do you think they like that? Plus, what do you, okay, think about it. If this man was under investigation, why would they allow him to fly out of the country to the Caribbean, all right, and then raid his house? When they allow him, they would not let him leave the country first because they didn't know they didn't know what they were going to find once they raided his house. That does not make sense.
He wasn't on the plane.
How did they know that he was never going to come back? So that's what I'm saying. That doesn't make sense that they would let him leave the country and then raid his homes.
But I've heard in reports that he was not on that plane. Even though it left to Antigua, he was not on that plane. He was in Miami at the airport.
For $185 million, the largest cannabis.
This is new news to me. I've never heard that.
Google it in. Diddy moves into the cannabis game with a $185 million purchase. He's the largest minority owner of a cannabis dispensary in America. Google it in. I'm not lying.
I don't doubt you.
So after the relationship with Ciroc dissolved, do you really think he cares? He moved on to something else. I do think somebody was retaliatory towards him. I do think that. But like I said again, we are speculating based on what we know and what we've heard people say about him, the reasons as to why Cassie made that lawsuit. It may have nothing to do with what people are saying. It could have been something with her contract. She might have had to sue him to get off his record label. We don't know. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? It happens all the time. Mary J. Blige had to sue her record company to break her contract. It happens to artists all the time. Yeah, and Mary J. Blige, if you look at Mary J. Blige, she said that they were stealing her money on the contract, the people, the team, they didn't promote her albums right, her tour, and none of that. She lost a lot of money. I'm not taking the side of Diddy or Cassie. I'm not. I'm a neutral party. Like I said before, I just want the evidence to do the conviction, not hearsay. And like the lady that was jumping on me about sexual harassment on the job, it happens all the time. But people also lie all the time about sexual harassment. Like they'll go out on a date with somebody they work with, and the person may dump them, and they get back, they say, "Oh, he or she is sexual harassing me." People lie all the time.
I don't think women lie all the time about being SA'd, but
I'm
not saying that some women don't lie about it, but I think the number is very small compared to the women that actually do get SA'd.
And don't forget, KFC, Diddy stay lying. And you know he lying. You know he did.
But what I'm saying is, look at this, but look at everything Diddy's accomplished. To be a black man in America. I mean, he got the largest cannabis dispensary. He put down $185 million cash for that.
Well, KFC, they allowed him to be successful. They allowed it.
Yes. Yeah, as long as he played the game. But then when he sued Ciroc, that's when he really messed up.
If you Google that in right there, you know that Diddy was making moves. That's all I'm saying. I'm not, I don't know his personal life. You know what I'm saying?
Diddy was making moves because he was allowed to make moves. But once you go up
if
against
they had
these
something
powerful
against
people,
him because he was black, he wouldn't be able to be a billionaire.
But they're trying to take that away from him now. And that's the point. When you get to the top, they try to bring you back down to the bottom.
Because he have done horrible stuff. He has to be accounted for.
Yes. And it honestly, if he had kept playing the game, and he had never gone up against these people, then I think he would still be, nothing would have happened to him. I don't think Cassie would have ever filed against him. I don't think any of these people would have come forward.
He lost. KFC, he lost. Now, I will say this. In this game, Diddy have done a lot of people wrong. Just like you may feel the liquor company did him wrong. Look how many people Diddy done railroaded over to get to where he at.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's happening to him. He can't beat him. He lost. Yep. He lost the game that he constantly plays with everybody else.
He hasn't been indicted yet. So all that's going on now, people are smearing his name, but he hasn't been indicted of anything.
Black people smearing his name, KFC. The black people
Well,
doing it.
black
Now,
people
what
going
you
to smear
gotta
his
say
name
with that?
regardless because of how much money this man got. And he's been cocky. And that's it. He's flamboyant and he want to throw his wealth up in your face. We all know that. But other than that, I need to see proof of everything else he's being accused of. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying on that. If he is guilty, then he deserves to pay the time. You do the crime, you pay the time. But you don't deserve to be found guilty based on hearsay or other people wanting your fortune. You don't deserve to be guilty based on that. And so far, going back to his son, I saw something online where the lady, she won't show her face, but she was showing her arm with all these bruises and stuff. Okay, my thing about that is, why didn't you take that to the hospital or to the authorities once the yacht docked? I mean, sitting around like that all these years, and
you cannot blame them for not
I'm not
coming
blaming them.
forward.
I'm not blaming
yes,
them.
You are, ma'am. I'm sorry, but yes, when you say, why wouldn't you do this? Why wouldn't you do that? That you can't blame the victim. If she doesn't come out till 3 years later, that's how long it took her to come out. Okay, and you don't know. She might have wanted to keep her job because she said how much she loved that job and how she had a thriving career until this happened. And this is separate from my current comment, but I Googled this marijuana deal, 185 million. This didn't happen. It failed in August of 2023. It went kaput. The merger did not happen. Cassie didn't file her charges against Diddy until November of that year.
Because that law was getting ready to run out. It's a statute of limitation.
Yes.
You have a certain amount of years before you can file for that.
She filed on the very last day that window was open. And you know what? I bet that woman thought every single day that they opened that window, I bet she thought every single day about what she was going to do.
Now, she thought, was she ready to shop at Walmart for the rest of her life? I'm sure she did. Look, I'm not knocking her. If that's what she's used to, then did she want to Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills, or did she want to shop at Walmart? That's what she was thinking about.
That's fine. Did she want to leave something substantial for her children? And that's fine. The woman deserves it for what he put her through.
How do you know that, though? When you weren't in their relationship, you've never been around both of them. You only going based upon what she's saying so far. Diddy has said nothing. Have you noticed that? He hasn't even said anything. He's letting people say whatever. You don't think that's strange that he's not saying anything?
And
said some crazy.
Salone Bella said that his mouth is going to be in stitches around this time, so he can't. She predicted this. So she said he's going down.
All right, we're going to see.
I don't know. If somebody came out and made up some lies about me and they were like, give me $200, I would laugh in their face. And I would say, come get this $200.
But there's a difference between people asking for $200 and you being targeted for $200. Because when people go to network.com and put your name in, they see every day what you're sitting on.
Joanne?
That's the difference. If Diddy would have just not party, he wouldn't have been in this situation. That's it. Like, you cannot, as they say, move out of the hood and then go back to the hood. You cannot do that.
I'm here.
Okay, so hold on, you guys. Joanne, what are your thoughts about everything?
Well, I'm gonna say a lot and try to keep my family and my last name, because I know my last name is up here. Okay, I live in Houston, and my family is on the law side. I have family that are in the office. They're attorneys with the city of Houston. I have family members that are politicians. I have family members that are in the industry, the music industry. I know a lot about Beyonce's background. I know a lot about how things happen behind the scene in the music industry. And I'm just gonna say I'm just glad I grew up when I grew up, because we never went anywhere at any concerts without a family member or 2 or 3 friends. It was quite. And from what I'm hearing is back, they're doing it again. They're roofing. They're just putting things in people's drinks. And when you have a man as powerful as Puff Daddy, he will have the mayor. He will have several politicians, and I know there's a girl who said that she has a political science background. Or have you ever done paralegaling? So she would know about the parties that they have during the holidays. The judges party with the defense, and they're all are friends. You know what I'm saying? And then your chief of police, he's gonna be, he's gonna come to the parties as well at the end of the year. And I can't talk about who our corrupted party is in Houston, but if y'all think really hard about Takeoff, then y'all know what I'm talking about. Those kind of people, they have their hand in everything. And this is a little, I think Cassie was what, Filipino, little brown girl, right? Background came from being brown. Okay, I think she bit off too much in the beginning. They met it when she was 19, and I don't think she was told about the lifestyle this man, this dual lifestyle he had that he was living. And yes, after she had finally left I think he was a producer or something for her, she was in trouble after that. You cannot leave these people with that kind of money and walk away. They're not gonna let you walk away, and you can't go to the police because they're in bed with them. Um, Especially like I'm gonna take for an example TD Jakes. TD Jakes, from what I'm hearing, all the courtrooms around him, he's got some judges. And all of a sudden, have y'all noticed TD Jakes is no longer a part of the scenario? Well, it's like that even in Houston, and even with Joel Osteen, you know, when it comes to your figures, your mega $1 million, multi-million dollar figures, whatever realm they in, is that it's gonna go into politicians, it's gonna go into the police, it's gonna go into other assets of living, because y'all might want to partner up for business in the future. You know what I'm saying? And when it comes to these girls that are going with these guys, they need to back away. They need not to want to date these rappers, these head of whatever, because it's so much that comes with this. And a lot of people don't be thinking about that. They think, "Oh, I'm gonna have this baby from this rapper or from this R&B guy, or my life is just gonna be heaven after that." The stuff that they have to go through, and the stuff I've seen, and I was partying in the '90s, and I often had many groups that used to ask me and my girlfriends to come party at the after party. But we knew in '90s when Puff Daddy was giving us parties that was not to go with those guys. We knew, and I'm a retired nurse, and I was nursing. I had to go take a shift the next day, and I was like, man, screw that. I'm not gonna go with this R&B guy, because back in the '90s, rap wasn't down south. We was feeling it, but it wasn't like a New York type of thing. We only had like the Ghetto Boys and stuff like that. And of course, we had the guy, I don't want to say his name, and he was over them. And let me tell you something. That girl, I'm not saying that nothing happened. I'm like this. I'm a little complicit because I feel like she could have left because she got away from him. But what did she have to sacrifice to get away? Did she almost lose her life one night? What was the turning point? Was it because he had so many other guys and dudes that he had at his fingertips that he just didn't want this girl anymore? And she was just looking around. But let me tell you what they're saying also too, from not from off the internet, from my family. They're saying, first of all, I have a lot of people in law enforcement. Let's just put that out there. And they're telling me that they've been watching Diddy for over, in order for the Homeland to kick in like that, they feel like that he's been being watched for like 13 to 15 years already. And he already has signed a proffer deal in the 1990s. So he was already a confidential informant. So we don't really know what's going on behind the scenes, but I have had a private yacht trip, and that is the worst environment to be in. And when you're trying to get away from somebody who's literally trying to rape you, because all they're about is getting their money and making their tips. And Justin Combs knows that. I'm sorry, Christian Combs knows that. So that's my feedback.
You know,
I just they just don't. These girls are going in so naive and so trusting.
I just want to say thank you so much for informing us. Your commentary was very interesting.
Gigi, I enjoy you. I really enjoy you.
Well, why you don't call me more often, Joanne?
No, I called you about 2 weeks ago about the Christian Rock. You know, I weighed in on her not milestone.
Because I be forgetting. I forgetful.
Yeah. I need to call. I just got off work too. I've been listening to you on my way home from work.
I need you to,
But yeah, I enjoyed everybody. I think y'all a hoot. The church's chicken, that was so funny.
You still here? KFC, you still here?
Not the church.
Yeah, I'm still here.
I heard you go from churches. You went from what, Kentucky to Popeyes to did you
Kentucky to Wingstop? Carry out.
Girl, guess what I'm eating now? I'm eating Popeyes wings right now. Y'all made me hungry.
Tonight.
What does KFC stand for?
Huh?
What does KFC stand for?
It stands for Colonel Sanders, KFC.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah. It actually stands for Kentucky Fried Chicken. That's funny.
Kentucky Fried Chicken. Yeah.
And even that recipe was stolen from the black folks. So was Popeyes. Yeah.
I know.
You know,
that's why I'm giving it back to us. That's why I say I'm KFC.
Mm-hmm.
When the last caller was up, she mentioned that the FBI or whoever had been surveilling Diddy for 13 to 15 years already, and an idea popped in my head. It's like, why couldn't those people been gathering evidence against Diddy to set him up later? You know, like that would be one reason that they continue to let him do what he does, so they can just keep getting evidence, you know, and then he is worth a lot of money.
They can watch him for 15 years, but they can't stop people from coming in the country illegal at the border. Like, make it make sense. That's crazy right there. I mean, if that's true, that's terrible. I'm sorry. You know,
I mean,
that is a gross misuse of government agency services. Crazy. It shouldn't take that many years to get one person.
That's a whole nother episode.
Like, man, come on, Nancy. They doing too much with this case. His twins are 16 years old, so they've been watching them. Just as okay, as long as his daughter's been alive, that's crazy.
I think about them a lot, and I wonder what they think about how their mother passed away. Because I know they've got to see these stories, you know, claiming that Diddy was responsible. So I wonder.
But we don't know what Kim's health was before she passed away, though, do we? It's not like she was giving interviews. She could have been sick for a long time. We would never know, would we?
Well, there's some weird stuff that's happened around her passing too. So, I mean, I won't know 100% that he did it, but like 99, yeah.
Have y'all also noticed that a lot of times when he's doing something, it's at sea, and not just him, all of them.
You said what?
No, I'm saying, have y'all noticed that when they're having these sex parties or these parties, yeah, they're always at sea. That a lot of them, when they're having these wild parties, that I don't know if they're all renting these boats, but that even Alicia Key and her husband, you know, they always, you know, they're always at sea. And it's like there's a reason behind it because of that international water.
I don't know nothing about that.
Have you been on
Well,
these Joanne?
I have, yeah, and that's the thing. That's why, because and it don't.
Joanne, I'm
Hmm?
coming with you. I'm gonna come with you
Oh,
next time. Okay.
I would have to. I have one side of my family that's really really wealthy, and I had to wait until I gotta get with them and see when they going this year, and see because we're out of Galveston.
Hear me, cause I need
Huh?
to go.
Huh?
Hear me. Tell everybody. I want everybody to be behind. Yeah,
Gigi, I would enjoy you coming. You probably would be a hoot. Yeah, I have to get with that side of the family and see when they go, because when they go, they have to know how many people are coming and all that. So, and you got put your portion aside. But yeah, but it don't take but for Galveston, I think it's 75 miles. Once you out in the water, that's considered to be the Gulf of Mexico. So y'all be surprised what be going on.
I'm gonna see for myself.
I think it's a troll.
I mean,
Well,
when I had a family member that almost got into a fight on the boat, and I was like, "Oh, please don't have us get all arrested when we go." We get back to shore, you know what I'm saying? Because anything can happen. You know what I'm saying? You got potentially spiked drinks. That's crazy.
Y'all lost me.
Yeah. All right,
Keep
Joanne.
it
I
troll.
love you, boo. I'm gonna let you go. Now, what you say, KFC?
No, I said she was losing me. I don't know what she was talking about. I was trying to.
Yeah.
I thought you might have been talking about that Montgomery brawl that happened a few years ago.
I don't know.
Well, KFC.
I don't know. She lost me on that one. She
troll.
said she was retired, but then she said she was on her way going to work. I lost it right there. I don't know what happened after that.
Miss Gigi, while I have you on the phone, can I just take a minute to tell you how much I really love your channel? Like, you are my number one favorite YouTube personality out here. I love you. You're so funny, and I love how when you cover stuff, and especially when you get a panel of people on here, you are so good at crowd control.
I have to say the same thing.
Oh,
you are just so awesome. I love you,
Thank
Jeff.
y'all. I appreciate
That's why I love
that.
calling in. I appreciate you letting me have my time too, because I'm a handful, but I appreciate you giving me my time today.
Oh, always. Yes, I appreciate you
That's
guys.
why that's why I'm a faithful subscriber.
Just because yesterday I had somebody send me a comment and they were like, why are you changing? I don't know. They was like, can you clear the air? I've been hearing some stuff and you changing and I just don't know what to think. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't mess with nobody and I'm always getting dragged to some bullshit. And I'm like, well, stay off my ops page. Shit. Okay, if you stayed over here and know what the hell was going on, you wouldn't have to go to the ops page to get information to bring it back here. How about you? I haven't been around here in a long time. Well, bitch, that's the problem. You have not been around. Like everything.
And I like how you open up your line. You let people be who they are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
And I do appreciate it. That's why I'm a faithful subscriber. I look forward to the notifications. Always make sure I chime in and try to get a phone call in. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
I mean, you could be Wendy Williams' replacement for real. I'm serious. I see big things for you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna do everything I can to make sure you get to the top like that, because this is definitely, to me, this is your zone. You do very well with this.
Hey,
like you got 508 people watching right now. 508 people watching you. You know what I mean?
Well, thank
so
you
that's good.
That's really nice. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure you get to the top.
Yeah, get me to the top, KFC. Shit. Now
I will. Let me see something. Who said something about KFC?
You
got the line tied up. I'm gonna get you. I see you over there in the chat.
KFC.
Okay, that's trash.
You sure did have the people calling in.
You sure did.
Who, me?
I had to wait a long time.
Yes, you KFC. Hell yeah.
But that's why you should have me on more often. Because, see, I'm not scared to go against the grain.
I see.
I'm the type of person, I think, if Diddy did the crime, once again, he should do, if he did the crime, he should pay the time. We know that old saying. But at the same time, if Cassidy's lying, that's not right either.
Yeah, but you know she.
And
not
see, with
gonna
me,
lie.
I try to take the no judgment zone. I don't let hearsay influence my line of thought because I don't know this man. I only know what they've been saying about him in the media. You know what I'm saying? So I want the evidence, not hearsay, to have the final say so. That's all I'm saying.
But he's not
That's
going to
all
allow.
I'm saying.
He's not. If it was up to Diddy, he would never have the truth come out because he have taken out so many people that tried to expose him. He's a very scary person. He's intimidating. Shit. If I was Cassie, I probably wouldn't even speak because I'd be too scared. Cassie, she's brave to face the whole world, to have the whole world in your business.
Gigi, can you believe somebody in the chat said, I'm trying to get on the payroll? KFC trying to get on the payroll. Yeah, right.
No,
I just been letting them run wild with me today. I think it's funny. But how am I trying to get on the payroll?
KFC, don't. I thought you said you didn't care what people say in the comment section.
No, I don't, because they be making me laugh. But nah, that's just it. I'm glad you gave me the opportunity to say my thoughts.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I mean? I really do appreciate that.
Well, I'm going
because deep down inside, a lot of people feel like that. They're probably thinking it's a lie as well, or somebody's fabricating the truth. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Well,
you would be a great person to have on a jury because you're so like, what's the evidence? What's the evidence? What's the
Thank
evidence?
you. This is my field. This is my line of work.
Oh yeah.
So like I like to argue with people. I like to debate. I like to put everything on the table. You tell me your side, my side. Then go ahead, Gigi. And then we're going to split it up and see what's right. That's what I do.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to let you ladies go. I appreciate you all for coming. I love y'all, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Other than that, you guys
thanks, Gigi. Talk to you tomorrow, girl.
Talk
Be safe.
to you tomorrow. All right, bye. And y'all know bye. And
thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. And you guys know I have my uploads. I do my uploads in my professional voice, okay? So anybody feeling like I'm changing up, yes, I am changing up on my uploads. All you're going to get is I'm going to give you straight up news and information in my professional voice, okay? So we can get all that clear. So do you guys anything I need to clear up in the comment section, please let me know so it's no confusion, because I've been getting a few messages from you guys saying that you guys y'all feeling some type of way about me. And thank you for Gabrielle donating $20. Gigi, you are great with your platform as well. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, baby. I appreciate that, because I be feeling some type of way. I said, damn, I can't make I don't understand with them comments. Well, anything I need to clear up, please put in the comment section. Thank you, Randy. Anything I need to clear up so I don't have to talk about this no more. Let me know in the comment section. All right. So other than that, I thank you guys for being here, for the comments, for the likes. Make sure you have subscribed if you have not. What topics do you guys want to tackle tomorrow? Press 2 if you want to stay on Diddy topics. Press 5 if you want to do Diddy and you want to do an open panel or more topics. Press 8 if you think we should shift and do other topics besides Diddy. Okay, comment, let me know.
Gigi?
Yes.
Oh, hey, Gigi. If I may ask, if we may also discuss Amanda Seales and her mental breakdown. Bone Thugs, Mariah Carey level breakdown.
Okay.
Tomorrow. And I also saw there's Aoki Simmons and her 65-year-old Zaddy. If that interesting situation, if we may also discuss as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't mind. We have that topic here in the comment. And hey, Mike, where you been at, Mike?
Hey, Mike.
How you doing? Hey, ladies. Hello. Good evening, as they would say.
Where you at, Mike? We done had a whole show.
Yeah, I was actually working, but
We just appreciate you being here because I was calling you out earlier, and I was calling Lady A was here early, but I was calling you.
I wish, yeah. I'm sorry I wasn't available. But no, yeah. It's good. It's good to see you. I just caught the last maybe 10 minutes because I wasn't really listening. I'll replay it and watch it. But yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff unfolding in this case, in these cases, and between me and you ladies, that whole thing with Russell Simmons' daughter and that old guy, that's disgusting. That's disgusting.
But you
Yeah.
have so many people feeling like, hey, get the money. But they don't realize all money ain't good money. And a 65-year-old mind versus a 21-year-old mind, it's no comparison. The manipulation, okay? But Lady A, what are your thoughts? How do you feel about Russell Simmons' daughter and the 65-year-old man?
Like Toure, we discussed Toure some time ago. The MTV guy, he has like the fro. He said, he also mentioned that his cousin had some issues with Diddy and Bad Boy. But Toure did say on Vlad TV that he met a 16-year-old, Kimora, and she was with Russell. He was much older, like what, twice her age, 2.5 times her age. So I know this is going to sound, kind of offensive, but this is the background that Kimora Lee comes from. I mean, I know her mother is like that. Her mother is an Asian woman, and her father is an African-American man, Kimora Lee Simmons. And, she has been modeling. She knows Kim Porter very, very well. If there's anyone who can be an advocate for Kim Porter, it is Kimora Lee Simmons. However, like I said, this is how she came about. Kimora Lee Simmons, she started Baby Fat through, of course, her marriage, her affiliation with Russell Simmons. I remember their MTV Cribs back in the day, before 9/11, their home was incredible. So Kimora Lee Simmons, from my opinion, she does feel comfortable with her daughter moving in this direction because of the benefits and also arguably also the protections that she was able to have by marrying, such a much, much older man. And Russell Simmons actually did go visit her when she was in high school. Like, he did go pick her up. So, that situation. And also to keep in mind, I know it sounds bad, but the fact is Aoki Simmons is of age. She is 21. Someone mentioned she is a college graduate, something that Kimora Lee Simmons did not have an opportunity to experience herself. So I'm under the assumption that her mother and Russell feel comfortable with this relationship. And also the money issue. Kimora, I would assume that she would have capital, she would have funds from her previous brands, but we don't know. Inflation is high, and they may see this type of relationship, this, May-winter romance, as a way for Aoki to elevate and move up, and her way of gaining wealth. Because one thing is true, Gigi, the number one way for a woman to gain wealth is marriage. If she does it right, it is a way for her to gain wealth. And this man has access. I did some research. He does have connections. He has some access. And with all of the issues Russell Simmons is going through, it's as if Kimora Lee is by herself with all of her children, which she has 5. She has 5 now. And she's ready to kind of move on and get Aoki off her payroll. Because now Aoki being a grown adult, Kimora Lee Simmons now doesn't have to support her daughter the way that she would have. Now Aoki can begin to make her own money, make her own connections, and start building her own brand. And I do believe this is why she is with this 65-year-old man. I mean, she is 21. I don't agree with it. I do find this very disturbing, but both of her parents know about it. And we all know how Kimora Lee Simmons moves. So that's just my opinion.
Hey, you make it sound so good. Shit. I'm sure a
Don't
lot of
make it
people are like,
sound-
I need to marry for a business deal too.
Well, this is how a lot of women, especially women of wealth, they do move, is by they're going to, where is she going to go? They stay within their own tax bracket. He is within the tax bracket.
But
And when
they say, couldn't she find somebody younger in her tax bracket?
with the type of lifestyle that she's accustomed to, probably not. Probably not. And also, if you think about it, this man doesn't need her for anything. Any guy, even a guy with, like, let's say she gets with an athlete, she's still benefiting the athlete because she is Kimora and Russell Simmons' daughter. She's in a situation where this guy doesn't need her for anything. He himself is not really gaining, except that he has beauty and youth through Aoki. He has a 21-year-old whose mother is a very well-known famous model. And Aoki, of course, her father, his affiliation with hip hop, which is the depth, it's so deep. So yeah, there's that benefit for him. But for number one, just like for anybody, any woman who is young, beautiful, wealthy, and rich, like this, that's what he is gaining from her. Just the affiliation with her youth and her beauty. There's nothing more. She is gaining access and I know it sounds bad. Yeah, the money. I just hope, I'm assuming that Kimora is there kind of, guarding the rails, pulling the strings, and making sure that, that she's not going to be, that she won't be taken advantage of. I'm assuming. I know it sounds bad. I'm not for this, but again, we all know Kimora. I mean, many of us remember her from,
But did she have a good situation with Russell? I thought it went sour.
It did go south very, very badly. It did go south. And then she's also, keep in mind, Kimora, she was with Jaimon Hansu, the actor who is the father of her son, the son who looks like Tyson Beckford. I remember people thought that they were married, but they never married. And from what I heard, the reasoning is that she did not want to mess up the money that she was receiving from Russell. Regardless, child support is child support, but she did not, I think she was also receiving some sort of alimony. There was also additional funds that Kimora Lee Simmons was receiving, and she did not want to jeopardize that money by marrying Jaimon. Plus, at the same time, a lot of he's a working actor, and a lot of these working actors, they don't have money at that level, like money like that. Russell Simmons has money, he has wealth. And, and of course, also the intellectual property, something that Jaimon Hansu may not necessarily have. IP does cost money. And speaking of IP, like Coolio, I remember he was mentioned some time ago, like maybe 2 hours ago. Coolio had IP. Coolio had a song, within Clueless, Rolling with the Homies. That's a huge movie. That's IP. You don't mess around with things like that. Coolio also had his song in the movie Dangerous Minds. IP is a major asset. Kanye, IP is a very, very, very major asset. Intellectual property. Russell Simmons has that. Jaimon Hansu is not necessarily going to have that as a working actor. And then we saw what happened when Kimora did marry the older white male who is, I believe, he was within finance. But even then, finance is very, Mike, you're a New Yorker, finance, New York is finance. It can be very, very iffy. And there's a lot of ups and downs and complexities. And then we saw what happened with her Wolf, and there's issues with JP Morgan. So Kimora, it's hard to find men where you can marry well, because even if a man has wealth, that wealth is dependent on a number of factors. That wasn't necessarily the case with Russell Simmons, because again, Russell Simmons has intellectual property, the asset that really does not die. Licensing, publishing, it just keeps on going and growing, especially as technology changes. Russell Simmons is still going to have a lot of money because the IP will just continue moving with technology. So that money will always stay strong. Kanye is a great example. We talk about Kanye, but Kanye and that IP, as technology progresses and moves, there's going to be money to be made. And a big way is licensing. That's like one of the biggest ways to make money through IP. Kimora has that with Russell Simmons and her children. She knows that. Kim Kardashian learned that. Athletes, their money is very fleeting. But with these artists, an artist has IP, publishing, production credit, the masters, which leads to licensing, and then of course branding, tour deals, et cetera, et cetera. We all know that many of these artists, they can go on tour just off their catalog from 20 years ago. We know these things. So I think that Kimora was kind of thinking, where's the best place to keep my daughter where she will be in a position to continue with wealth? And I think that's where she was moving. Okay, Mike, I'll be quiet now.
No, you're good. You're good. I was going to say, I was going to add to that. I was like, you're right, because his daughter dating this old guy. This is the thing. Okay, you can say whatever you want to say. You can say that they're somehow soulmates, which is ridiculous. She's 21. Okay, she's 21, but she's still a child in the eyes of the world. She hasn't experienced all these different things yet. She's still young. This old man, I mean, he's at the end of his life. She's at the beginning of her life. What could they possibly have in common? What could they possibly have in common? What is he, 40-something years older than her? And it's different if she was like 35 or 40 and he was like 65. I understand that. But like, this is degrading. This is disgusting. It's just like, it's almost like predator and prey. But I think the reason why this is happening, why she's dating a 65-year-old man, is because you're exactly right. Russell Simmons was dating an her mother, underage. So it's almost like it's this weird dynamic, But when I heard about this, I'm like, what? 21 and 65? I mean, what could they possibly have in common other than trying to get something from each other? Gully wise, not like I'm saying, like, not like trying to get to know. The happiest I've ever been was when I was younger. I'm in my 20s, my girlfriend's in her 20s, and we're on the same level. We're learning the world, and we're doing it together. This is like an old man dating a young girl. I mean, yeah, she has a college education, but at 21 years old, I mean, I don't know. It's very creepy to me. Go ahead, ladies. Go ahead.
Lady A, do you think that she has to do anything in the bedroom, or is just companion? Is it where he just wants companionship from her, and just not to be alone? Is he a lonely guy, or do you feel like it's some type of fetish he has, or is it all about companionship with a young girl and just trying to live through a young person?
I agree with everything you said, Gigi, but also at the end of the day, and I kind of mentioned this to you on several lives ago, the value that a woman's beauty brings, it's just, you cannot even measure it. You have this man, imagine him going into an event or a gala with this beautiful young woman whose mother is Kimora Simmons, a very, very well-known model.
I mean, in today's society, won't people frown upon that? Now, back in history, I think it was okay. But in today's society, on the Western side, don't they frown upon it on the Western? Now, maybe in Africa, it would be cool, right?
Right, of course.
Africa, it would be cool. Like maybe in the Middle East, maybe it'd be cool. But on the West, I don't know. Do you really think when he brings her into the room that everybody's going to be so jealous and the men is going to be envious? Maybe so. Shit, I don't know.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Especially in their circles. Absolutely. In their circles, yes. However, when you mention companionship, in all honesty, I know your live chat may disagree with me on this, but Aoki being a Harvard educated woman, she's well read. You had to study at Harvard. Like you cannot BS your way through. No matter who your parent is, you do have to study. And so she can bring her intelligence, but she's also bringing her beauty. She doesn't have experience or life, but can she hold a conversation what is she? It's not just arm candy, but a woman who can be able to work a room, walk through a room. That may be something that Kimora Lee Simmons may have struggled with, because Kimora Lee Simmons, I don't even think graduated from high school. But we now have Aoki, who is a daughter of a model and a Harvard graduate. It does look good on paper, and then of course also her beauty. Oh, and I say this because, and not to deter live chat. Give me 1 second. Just give me a minute, live chat. Think about this, Gigi. King Charles, when he was Prince of Wales, he didn't like Diana, and Diana is the pinnacle of beauty. Diana was 19, perfection, beautiful, beautiful. Still to this day, one of the most beautiful women in the world. But yet he could not relate to her at all. And this was something that was actively discussed, was that, Diana wasn't very well read. And Diana really only had like a 6th grade education. She never even went through middle school. She did not go through high school. Before they were married, she was just watching children. She was not a teacher. So she could not even communicate, because it was known, King Charles, then Prince of Wales, a very educated man. He loves to read, a very studious man, and like a nerd. He just could not communicate with her, even though she had the beauty. She didn't have the brains. And this was such a difficult situation, because we know, he never left Camilla. And Camilla's an old hoe from the 70s. And Camilla's the one who pushed him to marry Diana. And you see how she looks like. And Diana's a goddess. But yet he still could not leave the old hoe who was 15 years older than Diana. And now this female is queen. So you see these men, they do want an educated woman. They do. I know I've had friends.
I'm sorry.
They do like having. Yes,
I'm sorry. But I got a favorite TV show, and I want to know, have you seen it?
Tell me, Gigi. Oh my goodness.
Oh my God. I don't even know the name of it, so long ago. But it tells the story about Queen Mary of France, I believe. Because she used to, her and her cousin, Queen Elizabeth, they were at odds, all because, for power. But they really, it was everybody else was pushing it. But do you know that TV show I'm talking about?
Was it an HBO show?
No, it was like on WB or 13, or it didn't have any cussing in it or anything. But it's one of my favorite shows. It talks about Queen Mary.
Queen Mary of Spain? Must be of Spain.
No, not Spain. France. Queen Mary.
But tell me more, though. Go ahead. Tell me more.
Queen of Scotland, because Queen Mary of Scots.
Oh, Mary, Queen of Scots. Okay. Yeah, she took that bitch out. Yeah, she tried to take the crown, and Elizabeth had to take her out, beheaded them.
Yeah, then she left France and all that. But it reminded me of that story. I forgot the guy.
I see what you mean. Yes. So Queen Elizabeth and Mary, Queen of Scots, they were cousins. So of course, at that time, the church was.
Rain. Hold on, Jay, know it. Rain. Because I'm like, I know a lot of times my audience don't look at the same TV shows I watch. But sure. Rain, REIGN, Rain. That was one of my favorite TV shows. Well, Queen Mary from Scots, she was a child when she got married off. Back in those days, they married the kids off at a very young age. They'd be promised. So she went to France, and he was already messing around with somebody. Anyway, the story that you're saying, it reminded me of France's father. I forgot his name. He was a king, but not mine. I can't even explain it, but it's a good show.
I will definitely look at it. And it's like that vying for power. But the situation is that Elizabeth had some background. The first Queen Elizabeth she was educated. And Mary, who you're mentioning, Mary, Queen of Scotland, and her son actually became, that's King James, like the King James Bible. That's the Mary you're talking about right now. That her son became James the First of England, and he wrote the King. Well, he put together the King James Bible that we all know. Yeah, Elizabeth took her out because Mary tried to take her crown. That back and forth. But look what happened with Diana. Diana was not educated, and she was so simple. And it is concerning because Diana had very little education and was 19, but Aoki is 21 and she is very educated, and even Catherine, Princess Catherine now, she herself is also very educated. So that may be something that Kimora is looking at. The fact that, my daughter is educated, she's not as simple, and she will not fall for duplicity at a way that I probably fell for, Kimora, when I was younger. And also, using my example, Diana, because, Diana was just so simple. She had no vision to see what this old hoe was doing to her, that she was setting her up to fail, setting up her marriage to fail. And, and Camilla I'm very, very bitter what happened, because an older woman took advantage of the naivete of a 19-year-old. And then not only that, you're going after her husband repeatedly, nonstop. And we all know what happened. Kimora, now that her own daughter is, of course, as a high school graduate, a Harvard graduate, Kimora may be more comfortable with her daughter being with such an older man, because she may think that, Aoki has maturity. She went to Harvard. She's worked. She's in a position, if she wanted to make her own money. But here's the thing, though, Gigi, keep in mind, either Aoki has to work like me, like I'm a working girl, like I had to go to work, I have a job, like these things I had to do, and it sucks. It's a lot of hard work. Or she can take the Kimora route to build her own wealth by being with an older man. So I think that may be a decision, because Aoki has to make money somehow. So she can actually she can get a job, get an internship as a Harvard graduate. She can work, do the corporate life, or she can keep in the lifestyle and just jump tenfold and just find a wealthy old man like Kimora did. And Kimora knows this can work because it worked for her with Russel. And we all know Kimora was able to build her wealth, start her brand by her affiliation with Russell, her marriage with Russell Simmons. I don't want to say I agree with it, but I do think that's her mentality. So a lot of women, they do move like this, especially women like Kimora, who are beautiful, they're models. They build their wealth through marriage, through their affiliations with men. They're not going to, like, Kimora.
Why do you think that she went so public with it? Do you think it's smart for her to go public with it? Because I don't know, usually wouldn't they just be private with this type of matter? And when I saw the video of those two, she's a good actress if she's using him for money, because she comes off like, they were just close of friends, or it's just like she's a regular day, and she was saying some stuff to him, and she was being very smart mouth to him. And I think maybe that stage he's allowing her to say whatever. But I already know he holds the power, even though on video how she was talking to him, she was telling him, shut up, shut up, shut up, just shut up. Don't say that, shut up. He allows it, of course, and I think when people look at it, they like, oh, she's in control. She knows what she's doing. But I don't know if anything ever happened in the future and she comes out and plays a victim. I think people would probably use that video against her, saying, well, you were telling him to shut up, so you're very comfortable. So I just don't know how this will go. But Mike, what are your thoughts more?
It's in simple psychology, reading their relationship, it seems like he was probably lonely, even though he's wealthy and he has prominence. It seems like he's wealthy. He met, a younger lady that's going to try to invigorate him, make him feel young again, make him feel, vigor again. But no, she's definitely the dominatrix of the relationship. He's just like, okay, whatever. And some men like that. I've never been like that. I've always loved a woman that it's 50-50. I have half to say, she has half to say. That's a relationship. But it does seem suspectfully, I don't know this to be true, just, allegedly, as we would say, it seems like she's that young, hot woman that's just bossing around this old, lonely man. What do you think?
I think that's just a little space that we see, but I don't think he's weak at all. I think he's very strong. I think if he was that weak, he would not want to be shown because he would be scared about what people think of him. He is so bold. He does not care. He was seen kissing her, taking photos of her. I wonder, did he have a talk with her father? Since he's older, is he in that tradition where he wants to speak to her father, get her father wishes before dating her? Or did they not even had a conversation? Lady A, did he talk to her father, Russell, about this?
Do you remember how sassy Kimora was towards Russell? Russell's this big mogul. He's this powerful man. And Kimora would basically just snap her fingers and he would just cower to her. Her energy is what I'm trying to say. And because I remember those old videos of Kimora just bossing him around. And this is a megastar. Russell Simmons is a megastar. And his daughter, their daughter is just the same way. She has an energy that she can control people. That's just what I pick up. Like, she's a very super strong energy. And I think this guy, I guess wants somebody that's gonna, I don't know, steer the boat, as they would say, or I don't know. And when you alluded to, you think that they get intimate, I can't see that. I can't see that, the intimacy, because you have to fall in love, as in, like, you have to have things that you have to be attracted to each other. If she's attracted to him, so be it. I don't know how, but I mean, it is what it is, but I think it is companionship, and it's arm candy. That's what I think this whole thing is. Go ahead, ladies.
Lady A, did he talk to Russell?
I think he did.
Okay.
I think I know, and that sounds so bad. And that's what's so disturbing, Gigi, is that both Kimora Lee Simmons and Russell know full well what's going on. They know about this and they clearly approve. It's like they're ready to pass her on, give her away to this much older man.
I think in our society, it may feel awkward. But when, like I said, when I look at everywhere, like in Africa, this would not be frowned on, Middle East, Asia. And then when you look at tradition way back in the day, I don't think they're would they frown upon it back in the day? I'm not sure.
No, they would. They would marry children off in third world countries, in the Middle East and third world countries. But all I'm trying to say is this doesn't feel, to me, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like there's love there. It feels like someone's using one of them is using each other. I don't know which one it is yet, but one of them is using each other for some status quo, make them feel young, for money. It's going to come out though, but this doesn't seem right. That's all I'm trying to say. When you have a feeling about, okay, I met someone a little bit old. All right, I'll give you an example. I met a woman. I was in my 30s, right? And I met a woman and she was in her 50s. Okay, but I'm in my 30s. She's in her 50s, and it was great. It was a beautiful relationship. So, but I mean, like 21 and 65. I'm sorry, come on now. Go ahead, ladies.
Well, one thing is what we always understand, and Gigi, I've been bringing this up between the young people and old people, is he would have gone to her. That's what I believe. He has been pursuing her. He went to her, and Kimora is fine with it. This is what I'm getting. Because how would somebody who is just now turned of age at right at 21, so that legal age to drink, because even if it was anything lower than 21, then it would look super predatory. It already does look predatory, but it would look really
when she doesn't want to be with him anymore.
That's what's very scary is the power dynamic. That's why I do believe that Kimora is involved. And honestly, Kimora and Russell may have received money from him. like almost like a reverse dowry, because you're mentioning Africa. When you're looking at Africa, and also even within wealthy European families, that they do like that May to winter, that May, December, where you have a very young woman and a much older man. It is, and when it comes either with very more traditional, very traditional societies in Africa, and then also very traditional conservative societies in Europe, especially amongst the nobility, the wealthy, they do these May, December relationships. They're just more accepting of it. And
it feels like an arranged marriage. Go ahead.
It does kind of feel arranged. It does, because think of how is somebody so much older be with somebody so young, and we're now just finding out right when she's 21. Because this could have been going on longer, but it would have looked really bad if she was 19, 20, and then this guy is in like, he would have been in his early 60s. Because then everyone would have come after Kimora and Russell. Like, why would you allow something like this? Everybody
exactly.
So them.
They wait till they wait till
more like, oh, we're just together. I'm 21.
Yeah.
I just met him. It doesn't look as bad because now she's 21. She can legally drink. Think about that, Gigi. She can now travel and drink on her own with her ID. And it's not as much of an issue because now she's an adult and she can drink legally. And there's less liability on his side, the older guy's side, because now she's 21. Because before, if anything were to happen to her, he could face liability as she is under the age of 21. Even if she's over 18, if something were to happen to her and because she is still a minor, under 21 is still a minor, he could have faced some liability. And on the Kimora side, then it would have come off kind of like, are you selling her off, Kimora? Do you need money like that? I think this is more of everybody knows about it and they're all complacent and they're fine with it. And Aoki seems fine with it because her parents are fine with it.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think, and your honest opinion, just off of the energy of the two, do you think they actually have relations together? And I'm not trying to be nasty. I'm just saying, do you think that this young, beautiful woman,
Simmons, the girl, I don't know. I'm projecting. I'm projecting. So if I was in her position, I would hope I'm in a situation where I don't have to be intimate with him. He just want me as a companionship. We go out. He want to make other guys jealous. So I'm on his arm. We might kiss, a little peck or two, but I enjoy his company. He's so smart. He's so intelligent. He tells me about the world. He tells me what stock I should invest in. He introduced me to a whole bunch of high stake people so I can get where I want to go in life. And that's what I will project, and I will hope things will happen. And all I got to do is just stay faithful, I guess, because I don't know, would he allow me to be with other men secretly, or would he not? Is he controlling, or is he not? I don't know. But I don't know. I think it's best, if I was in that position, it's best that he does not allow me to be with other men, because if I start falling in love with someone else, then I'm not going to be with him anymore. And it's just going to get messy. Then if somebody else find about in the tabloids, honestly, if I was her, I would just want to focus on my work and my career. But I would want to end things off when I'm around 26, 27 to find my real husband.
No. Gigi, you're right. You could, this to me, and I'm sorry to cut you off, this to me, it reeks of a fetish relationship. In other words, when I met my ex-wife, or I met another girlfriend before her, you feel that love. You court each other. You're very close to the same age. You have the same things in common. You struggle together. You know what I'm trying to say? But I mean, this whole thing reeks to me of some old dude trying to get some young chick to make him feel young again. And for her parents to okay this, yo, Gigi and homegirl, if my daughter, when my daughter was 21, she's older now, but when she was 21, if a 65-year-old dude was trying to date her, I'd be like, hell nah. No, it ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. Because I know that he's gonna corrupt her. He's just trying to use her as a chess piece on the board. Because ain't no darn way a Harvard-educated 21-year-old beautiful girl needs to date a 65-year-old man without weird intentions. The whole thing is weird. So it's very much like a grooming case. Like, I don't know if she's, if he's trying to use her just for her looks. Remember, there are men out there. There are old men that will get escorts, right? And I'm not saying she is. It's not what I'm saying. But they'll get women, young women, to go to parties with them to make them look more glamorous because they're older and why wouldn't he be with a 50-year-old woman? Why would he want to be with a 21-year-old girl? And why would she want to be with him? It doesn't make sense. It's
She
almost
has
like
daddy issues, Mike. She has Gigi.
Exactly. That's her daddy now. That's her daddy.
It is her daddy now. That's her zaddy. That's the zaddy, Mike. That's what we have. That's
My daughter.
And so many girls wish they were her. I see them in the comments. They say, I want a sugar daddy. It's a lot of girls that want this.
I understand that. And if my daughter met a rich guy, right? And she's like, Dad, I really connect with him and I want to be with him. And I look at him and he's, 35, whatever, and she's, 21. All right. The guy made it. The guy made it. He's got it. If he's 65, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna break your hip, old man. Get away from my daughter. No, you're not gonna be with my daughter at 65 years old. To me, it's disgusting. Now, people can fall in love at different times in their life, right? But you cannot, ladies, you cannot tell me that even though she's educated, a 21-year-old has nothing in common with a 65-year-old.
Oh no.
World-wise, like experience and what you've been through in your life. And connection-wise is what I'm trying to say. Go ahead.
Oh, absolutely not. There's nothing. Like she wants a zaddy. There is a clear void because we all know there is a very tumultuous relationship between Russell, Kimora, and their daughters. Like they have come on social media. There's a lot going on. So there's some damage right there. And arguably, we don't know. I don't think Russell was, the best father because they've come to social media very, very angry against their father, against Russell Simmons.
Yeah.
So there's some serious problems there. And you're now right at that age, the cusp of your life. You're just starting out your life. But Gigi, I mean, just you know how it is. It's so unbelievably hard, Gigi. It is. And one thing that I know a lot of young girls, especially that age, you don't want to deal with is, working and dealing with all of that has to go with these jobs. It is exhausting. And one thing, Gigi, even at work, a lot of the young girls at work, what do? They get with their older boss to get things moving.
Yeah.
And also, why they do this, Gigi? It's not just trying to elevate, but it's also protection. If you can find the HNIC, whatever race he is, you don't have to deal with the harassment and abuse of other women. And that guy will make it clear to other men that, hey, she's not to be touched with, she's mine.
Sometimes older guys, they will motivate you the most. Even if you don't believe in yourself, they will pour in confidence. Yes, you can. Well, let's try this. Let's try that. And they have money and access to do this and to do that. So I see the benefit in it. Chevron, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes. What are your thoughts about this topic?
Well, I just want to say I hope everyone is having a good evening and this is great dialogue. I just wanted to add into that conversation about maybe allegedly that Aoki could have been sold off allegedly to the highest bidder. And I just want to say that this is not technically taboo. Stuff like this does happen in the industry more often than we really understand. And it also reminds me of the movie Eyes Wide Shut. I'm not sure if everyone is familiar with the movie Eyes Wide Shut, but if you remember towards the end of the movie, where I think it was New Year's or New Year's Eve, and they were in the toy store, Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman's character, their little girl had followed the two older men in the toy store. And we already know, what those who are in the conspiracy community know, that it was 20 minutes cut from the movie's Eyes Wide Shut. What was the 20 minutes cut from the movie's Eyes Wide Shut? That is a conspiracy. We don't know. But we do know, supposedly towards the end of that movie, when the little girl had trailed off and followed the two older men, it is suspected that they sold off their daughter to those older men. Also, it reminds me of Johnny Gosh. The Johnny Gosh case is from the 80s. I don't know if many people remember that case or not, but Johnny Gosh was the first poster boy to be on the back of milk cartons for missing kids. He was the poster boy for that. Maureen Gosh, who was his mother, fought long and hard with, I think his name was Ted Gunderson. He was in
This reminds me of the TV show I'm watching now, De'Ara in Detroit. Have you seen that on BET?
I don't even watch BT.
Oh, I'm sorry. They got a little back in Detroit. De'Ara in Detroit. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, not a problem. So yeah, Johnny Gosh had went missing back in the 80s. So one morning, I don't know if people are familiar with the story, so I'll just, briefly tell the story. But he was a paper boy. He delivered paper, I think it was every other weekend or every mornings. And his dad usually helps him. But for one morning, his dad did not help him. And the morning that his dad did not help him, that was the day that he was kidnapped and he was sold into child, I don't want to say the word, but
Okay, yeah, okay.
yeah, he was sold off to. So Maureen Gosh, when she was talking to, news reporters, and she sat down with Ted Gunderson was an ex-FBI agent or detective, but he was really experienced, and he was also experienced with talking with former MK Ultra victims who were victims of MK Ultra and ex trafficking as well. So he was very known. And I remember Maureen Gosh telling Ted Gunderson and also reporters that leading up to the disappearance of her son that morning, their house phone kept on ringing. And she noticed the father always answered the house phone. And he would just tell her, no, I gotta, I'll answer it. So she never answered it. And then it was the evening before the morning he disappeared. The father, and also I skipped this part, I'm sorry. And the father would just tell the wife, it was the wrong number. It was nobody, it was the wrong number. But the evening before Johnny disappeared, he stayed on the phone a little bit longer. And from the dialogue from what the wife heard, it was yes, okay. And he hung up. And I think Maureen asked, who it was, and he just never told Maureen, who was on the other line. And then the morning that he was supposed to deliver newspapers with Johnny, his son, for some odd reason, he made an excuse to why he could not help him deliver the papers. And that was the morning that Johnny had disappeared. But there was a young man who had schizophrenic who was,
Well,
supposed.
I'm getting a little confused because I want us to stay on topic.
I'm sorry. But no, the point of it was, it's just not taboo for parents to supposedly,
Yeah. I mean,
their children.
I guess a good real back. I'm sorry, Gigi.
Go ahead, Mike.
I guess a good point that you just made is that yes, it's absolutely real and it's absolutely disgusting that parents do traffic their children. I mean, it's horrible. And look at the world now. Look at the amount of trafficking that's going on. So this is a good thing. Homeland Security and even the Army and other people have said this. The years ago, the biggest threat coming into America was drugs, was cocaine. Now it's humans.
Cocaine.
It's human trafficking. Humans are worth more than the drugs are now. People pay to come in. We bounce them back. They pay again to come in. But people are being trafficked around. And
they just don't just do it in Africa or places where it's legal.
Because there's no money to be made. There's no
Yes.
they don't have the money to pay to get trafficked in. So when all right, so you're in West Africa, right? Or you're in Venezuela, or you are in Chile, wherever you are. You want to come into America, right? You have to pay to come in. You can't just walk in there. They're going to ship you in, but you have to pay. It's all about money. It's all monetary. You know, why doesn't one African go to another colony? You know, why don't they traffic them? Because there's no money to be made. It is all about money. These are called mules. They mule you in. In other words, a mule used to ride a mule in, you know, but it's disgusting. But because human beings are now just like cattle on a farm.
Yeah, but they've been doing that. I mean,
I know,
slavery.
I know, Auntie, but it's getting worse and worse. It's
Yeah.
becoming so heightened. And what I'm trying to say is that a human being is so devalued now. And people don't understand how good we have it in America, but America is being diluted with all this crazy stuff. Remember, America was like feel safe. You know what I'm saying? You felt safe. You were straight, you know, whatever. But now it's just like the world is getting crazier and crazier. But
Back to the topic.
Human trafficking is bigger than everyone can see. Like I'll give you an example. This is the best way to explain it. The news only shows you half of what's really going on. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I just don't want to get into that topic. With
I think what is really Mike is stating, it has scaled. It has scaled in a way that unimaginable, Gigi. And again, and something else, Gigi, if we can have a live, Gigi, I don't know if you've seen this movie, but we do need to see Eyes Wide Shut.
Yes.
That we need a movie night. Chevron, thank you for coming and bringing this up. Gigi, I don't know if you've seen this movie, but if you haven't, it's probably going to be one of the most prolific, and it's going to hit you hard that you've seen in probably the past 10 years. I'm guessing you have not seen it. I'll just say this, Gigi, this movie is what broke up Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. Like their marriage, this broke them up. If there's any movie that you really do need to see, don't watch it off Hulu or Netflix. You need to buy the unrated version. Buy the DVD or Blu-ray. Probably DVD is best. So go old school and watch this movie. I kid you not. Chevron, oh my God, I can't believe you came online and said that about their daughter. Gigi. So that's why I'm saying you need to watch the movie. And what Chevron is saying, what she just stated is like a lot of people have been, because the movie, it's not what it seems. It's not what it seems. And since we are discussing the situation with Aoki, this movie touches upon this one subject throughout. Young girl with older men. And when Chevron brought up the end of the movie, I don't want to go into any more detail, but you need to see this movie. And it does touch on, Chevron, I see why you came up and said that. And you clearly have studied this movie, and it does apply to what's going on with Aoki and this older man. Like Chevron, oh my God. I'm gonna have to rewatch it now because it does fall in line and it does make sense. Like, oh God, oh Chevron, why did you do
But
this?
even also, not to cut you off, but even when you look at the scene when Tom Cruise went into that shop to purchase a mask to go to the party at the mansion.
Don't bring that up. No. Don't ruin it for
okay.
Gigi. Okay, don't do that. That's a very important scene. Gigi, you have to see the movie. Like, I'm gonna come back and remind you, Chevron, Mike, we gotta talk about this movie.
It's very, but it's so ominous. It's the older rich people, older rich elites, you know, basically taking advantage of young women. I mean, and then the young women think that they're going to get fame and fortune, or they're going to be taken care of, but they don't. The young women don't realize these older men are they're basically pooping on them. In other words, they don't care about them.
Chevron, remember that scene when they went to Ziegler's party when she was dancing with that older guy? I'm just now realizing that older guy was a very, very, very wealthy Eastern European man who was trying to like entice her. One thing, Gigi, that is very well known is the level of trafficking in Eastern Europe. Chevron, I'm guessing that you have seen the movie The girl with the dragon tattoo. I know. I'm guessing you have the type.
I'm
of movie.
familiar with the name, but I have not seen the movie. I'm familiar with the name and the
If
book
you
as
can,
well.
Chevron, great. You know the book as well. If you can, Chevron, watch the original Scandinavian version. It's a 3-part movie. There's three movies that come to the whole collection. I think the girl playing with fire. I think it's I know the live chat's probably gonna get mad at me, but one of those movies, which all goes into the series, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, Gigi, they speak about trafficking, and one of the girls, she comes from a family, and she was sold. This was something, and they do touch on the amount of human trafficking in Eastern Europe. And this movie is like 20 years old. One thing, though, Gigi, keep in mind, what country is at war? Ukraine. And they are notorious, Gigi, very, very, as a hub for human trafficking within Europe and then within the Middle East and the Levant. Ukraine, there's a lot going on there. And also with Russia, but Ukraine. So when we're discussing trafficking, Gigi, there's so much.
Can we give a a nickname,
Okay.
just so it won't run it up in the algorithm, and it's like, Lord, this whole video about trafficking.
You can just say T word. Just say T word. That's all.
T-word, the very sad T word that's becoming more and more common. Yeah, if something that we can do, like Gigi, you really do need to see this movie. Like, since she brought it up, you really need to see it.
I will go watch it.
Watch the original. Live chat you too, if you can find unrated Kubrick's version as much as possible. I know you can find it on DVD. It shouldn't be too expensive, but since we're discussing the situation with and how it looks, because it just Chevron, you're making a good point. You are. It does. That's why when we're all looking at Kimura and her background, her genetic, Kimura's mother is Asian. Like, I'm just saying, a lot of this is just okay in certain cultures and certain people.
I think you're hitting on so many points. My mind's going to explode. Because you're exactly right. And Eyes Wide Shut. All the ladies, you've seen it, I've seen it. It's amazing, and it breaks down the whole degradation of a younger woman. It breaks down, the old man getting with the young girl because she wants fame and fortune, or she just wants to be financially secure. But he's not treating her like she's a woman. He's treating her like she's an object, like just like another object on the shelf. And then they use them S-word wise, to be with other people. And I'm telling you, it's a great movie. And yes, you're right. It did break their marriage down because that movie spit so many facts that it blew up the industry. And it's just all that, those old, nasty, rich men getting with these young, beautiful women and manipulating them. That's what it is. And that's what we're seeing now. We're seeing now in front of our eyes, young, beautiful women being manipulated. You cannot tell me, I don't care who's on here right now, that 21-year-old girl and that 65-year-old man have something in common other than something nasty. You know what I'm saying? Like something derogatory, And another thing is that there's so much negativity in the world right now. And it's all coming out. But Eyes Wide Shut is a very good movie to watch. If Aunt Gigi hasn't seen it, you got to see that movie. It'll blow your mind. But all I'm trying to say is this. People are waking up. People are waking up to this stuff. Are we going to stand up and stop it? Or are we just going to keep letting it happen? Money doesn't buy your soul. And that's the thing. Once you sell yourself to somebody for monetary reasons, you lose yourself. Now your innocence is gone. Now you don't. You become a possession. That's all you are, is a possession. You're like one of his rare cars in the driveway. That's all you are when you give up your soul. Go ahead, ladies.
Yeah. Well, I enjoyed this conversation. I'm sorry I'm gonna have to cut it, you guys, but I thank you, Chevron, Mike, and Lady A. Hopefully I'll see you guys on the next turn of events. All right, so we're gonna get out of here. Any last comments anybody want to make?
Everybody have a great night. God bless you all. I love coming up. The ladies are the best. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Chevron, any last words?
Oh, I had a couple more words to add, especially to add on to the Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman, but it can wait.
Okay. I'm sorry about that, Chevron. All right. Lady A, any closing remarks?
Chevron, thank you for coming on and bringing up this movie. I really do hope we have a movie night discussion to break this down. Gigi, it would be fantastic. I really hope we can do that. Also, Gigi, if we may also another live to touch on Amanda Seales, if we may. I just think that just especially just the Black community, just everybody, to kind of break this down, because it is there's a lot going on there. It's multifaceted, and some people are really agreeing with her, and others are kind of seeing what's going on with Amanda Seales. And I just hope that we can discuss more regarding that. That would be awesome. So if we can kind of take these two items as an action item for next time, if that's okay with you.
That's great. I will look into that.
Thank you so much.
All right. See you guys. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe if you haven't, and hopefully you guys enjoy. Did y'all enjoy the show today? If you did, press 2. All right. Love y'all, and I'm out.